by the sound of violence.
I'm a little concerned. It's Monday morning. I went to check on the status of our one share of Endeavor Group Holdings, Inc.
Mm-hmm.
We've dipped down below $30 a share here. For a while this morning, we were all the way down there below $28. And, man, I'll just be honest with you. When we were riding high, up at like $31 last week, I might have got a little carried away with our newfound wealth. And now, after I went and bought these rare albino tigers, I'm looking at the stock price this morning, and I don't know, man. I don't know if I can afford to feed them, and they're starting to look hungry. I'm worried.
I'm concerned that you are just a little bit too plugged in here to the stock prices. That maybe you're a little bit, you're riding the wave too much, man. Getting too high with the highs and too low with the lows is my concern.
Here's what we need. We need a big summer out of Conor McGregor. We need, we need John Jones to do this one for pride, basically. That's what would really help us out. John Jones can just do this Francis Ngannou fight. Just, whatever happened to bragging rights? You know what I mean?
What up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another Sound of Violence podcast. We are an MMA podcast, talks about the MMA podcast you should catch, skip, and can't miss each week. Although we don't do skips anymore, I just forget that's not part of the intro. We also aim to be a form of mutual aid for the MMA community. I am Pulver, and I'm back yet again with my co-host, Chris Madaffer. How's it going, man?
Chilling, man. I'm actually, we'll get into the libation that I am sipping on, but yeah. Oh boy, is it a strong one already.
You got a big boy this week?
Man, yeah. But I do have a surprise as well, as far as a beer brewery reference.
I'm very excited to hear about it. Well, on that note, I guess we should get right into this motherfucker.
Yes, sir.
So why don't we start it off with our Pawpaw Vodka presents, Doug Stanhope presents our Super Real, Definitely Not Fake sponsors.
I can go ahead and start if you'd like.
Yeah, kick it off.
So, this basically 20 ounce, basically Imperial Stout, which is
that's a big boy Imperial Stout.
Yeah. So it's this brewery called Great Divide. I've seen this all the time. Never tried their beer.
Wait, really? Do they do Yeti, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm drinking. However,
how have you never tried Yeti?
Because it's expensive.
It's really kind of. It depends on which version.
It's really not.
For an Imperial, it's about average. It's also the first time I had it was actually at the liquor store right by Claremont Surf Shop, right, kind of over in your
Crest.
neck of the woods. Yeah, Crest Liquor.
Yep.
Right with they got that 2 flat 1 out right out front.
So this one is Yeti. However, it's their Mexican hot chocolate variant, with kind of like a Mexican blanket kind of thing or New Mexico thing. Really cool. This beer is excellent. Very, very good.
Sounds good.
9.5 ABV, of course, as an Imperial Stout should be, at least 9 and above. There's no real description about the beer. It just says stout with coffee and spices added.
Yeah, because it's already a very chocolatey stout.
It's very similar to Stone's Chocovesa, which is my favorite beer that Stone does, by the way.
It's one of their best, for sure. Like, it's just so well-rounded, and that's one of the few beers from Stone that I can drink all day, as long as it's not hot out.
So, Besides that, the other beer reference I have is after work today. I did a bunch of canning and production work today at work here at New English. I was like, well, I need to stop by a brewery that is a friend of mine because there's a person that works at this brewery. I went to school with his son. Very nice family. They're actually from Tirasana as well,
Awesome.
where I grew up. Hopnonymous Brewing. Shouts out to Hopnonymous.
Wow, never even heard of it.
They've been doing fantastic things. They actually took over the spot that Council Brewing was at in Kearny Mesa / Claremont on Convoy Court right there. Nearby, I guess, Tommy's Hamburgers or Kearny Mesa Bowl.
Wait. You're not thinking of the place that you're thinking of, I don't think. Are you talking about which brewery you say they took over for? Council?
Council,
It wasn't Council. Was it Council?
It's Council, yep.
Where was Council? Across the street from Kearny Mesa Bowl?
Not across.
Okay, because I'm
exactly,
okay.
But,
Because
you turn basically if you're on Claremont. Mesa,
wait, no, you're talking the other direction, like across Convoy, kind of, right?
Basically, if you're on Claremont Mesa Boulevard but headed east towards Tirasana, you turn left on Convoy Court, which is right before Kearny Mesa Bowl on Claremont Mesa Boulevard. It's
Right.
how there's like that the Carl's Jr.
Oh, dude, actually,
turn left
I
on Convoy
remember
Court.
why I know that
It's
place now.
It's right by Napa Auto Parts. Right there.
Well, I will say it's good to see now that Council is no longer there, since Council at the beginning of the pandemic was still serving beers indoors for a very long time during the pandemic.
I'll say this.
Since
Hopnonymous
they're gone, we
Brewing-
can say that, right?
Yeah, no, we can. Yeah, same
'Cause
as
you were
Circle
the
9.
one-
Rest in peace to Circle 9.
Yeah,
They shut
Circle
the fuck
9,
down.
same
They're on
problem.
Opportunity Road.
Yeah.
My point is, Hopnonymous legitimately has fantastic beer, and they're a nano brewery. They're a very tiny spot, as Council was.
So they're like right around the corner from O'Brien's, right?
Or close by.
Like kind of between Kearny and O'Brien's kind of thing.
Circle 9 is more closer to O'Brien's.
Yeah, I get-
This
yeah,
one's more parallel
okay.
to Claremont Mesa Boulevard.
Right.
Either way,
we're talking
Hopnonymous-
about by the way, for people who aren't local, we're talking about like a 3 or 4 block radius of a bunch of breweries that are all right there.
basically
So
Claremont. It's / Kearny Mesa.
yeah, Convoy
Claremont,
/ Claremont. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Also,
my
R.I.P.
point is-
Kearny Mesa Bowl because that thing's dead, right?
Which thing?
Kearny Mesa Bowl, didn't that die?
It's dead, unfortunately.
Dude,
My point is,
all the good
these
bowling
guys,
alleys, San Diego.
The homie Blake, he's been to Hopnonymous way more times than me.
Oh, yeah?
These guys have fantastic variety of beers. They specialize in dry hopped hazies and just IPAs in general. But they have an amazing kettle sour that's like a rainbow sherbet flavor. That's absolutely
Sold. I love some sherbet beers,
it's
dude.
so fucking good. And what's cool is their theme is a anonymous, like the hacker group that dons the Guy Fawkes V for Vendetta look, right?
Yeah, those motherfuckers.
Hence the term Hopnonymous. So it's like the Guy
Right.
Fawkes mask with like a hop beard. So anyways, the beer tender there bought a bunch of Guy Fawkes masks and just gave me one for free.
Nice.
He didn't have the white one with the rosy cheeks, so he gave me this one, which doesn't fit all too well, but he gave me a black and gold one.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
So he's like, "Fuck it, dude! Like, I'll just give you this one," and it's cool, man. And those guys are rad. The gentleman who visited me in New English, he grew up in Tirasana. I went to school with his son. He's like, I'm retired, but I just work there once every Friday because it's fun. I'm like, hey, man.
Dude, if I was retired,
Great.
I'd be doing a
Sounds dope.
gig like that. It's a very Doug
Yeah.
Stanhope move.
Yeah, he's easily like in his late 50s. He's like, fuck it, dude, this is so fun.
Yeah, just go hang out and serve beer, drink some beers.
Everyone give Hopnonymous a visit. They would love the support. I think they were voted, last year from the SD Beer News Awards, the second place for best new brewery in all of San Diego.
Oh, Jesus. Because first was like Original 40 or somebody like that, right?
I think so, yeah. They're the guys that actually own U31, same ownership.
Wait, which one is? The Hopnonymous is the same?
Original 40.
Original 40 is the same as the other guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, Original 40's been blowing up, and that place I haven't gone yet because again pandemic, but their spot in North Park looks dope as hell. It's definitely on my list. But yeah, man, Hobnonymous sounds tight. I'm definitely gonna have to swing by there.
You would like it a lot. They usually have a very good rotating set of food trucks as well.
Hell yeah.
Unfortunately, I went there, didn't have food truck today. It was all good though. But yeah, man, give Hop Anonymous, if you're based in San Diego, give them a look. They're a great nano brewery, because when I mean nano, they're very small.
Yeah,
but
like nano, like not like
60 beers on tap. Like
how many?
Maybe not. Yeah, no, they probably have about 16 beers on tap. Now
Jesus, that's a lot.
they have a big, and I'm not a big fan of Reds or Irish Reds, but their Irish Red was phenomenal.
Wait, they got fucking red? Do they have a porter?
See, they don't have a porter.
Nobody's got a fucking porter, bro. This is why I ask every time. Is my three questions?
Has that porter still, but
I know, and it's right there too.
Yeah.
That coconut porter from Kilowatt's so fire. But dude, the three questions I always ask of every brewery in San Diego: do you have a porter? Do you have an ESB or a brown? And do you have like anything that is like? I will go anything from like a red ale to like a Cascadian dark ale to like a black. Like, what are you doing that nobody's doing? And yeah,
see, that's why. And here,
but everybody's got 14 hazies.
Brown, so we got 2 of those covered for you.
No, I know. That's why I like you guys, because you guys
Exactly.
between the ESB and the brown alone, you guys are hitting all kinds of shit that nobody is. So,
Yeah.
dear San Diego, please
I'd
make
give a
less
shout out to
hazies.
Optimus.
But yeah, Hobnonymous sounds awesome. I'm very hyped on that. On that note, I guess I should get into the beer I'm drinking, which is very good. So, Chris, I don't know if I have never heard of this beer. I actually got I literally got just a case full of IPAs. Not even a case. It was just a cooler full of IPAs from my neighbor who doesn't drink. They had a party, and they had like literally like 2 coolers full of IPAs left over. Okay. And so, since they don't drink, they're like, do you guys want a whole fuck ton of IPAs? And of course, girlfriend Karen, being the best, is like, absolutely we do. So I have like a full fucking fridge, double stacked of IPAs. Fortunately, a lot of them are from either Alpine or from Green Flash. While the people in charge of Alpine and Green Flash might not be great.
I know.
Yeah. If you guys have not been keeping up on beer news, we're not going to get into it on this show because we don't have time. But you should absolutely go follow. Who's the person's name who everyone should go follow? Do you remember her name or her tag?
Oh, at Rat Magnet.
Yeah, sure. At Rat Magnet on Instagram. Go follow
also
at Rat Magnet.
Is beer a carb? Those two.
Both of them. Yeah, Rat Magnet is doing insane work in the brewing industry, and she's not making friends, but she's making history, and that is more important. So everybody go follow her. Anyway, not going to get into that right now. What we will get into is I am drinking a beer from Alpine. I didn't even know existed, Chris, and I didn't know this was a thing that happened anymore. Is that beers from Alpine came out that I didn't know existed. Number 2, have you ever seen an Alpine tall can that isn't like their standard logo? Because this is an Alpine beer.
See, that's why I wish.
Oh, you can't. Oh, wow, you literally can't see it. So, Chris, while I'm talking, go ahead and Google exponential hoppiness from Alpine. This does not look like an Alpine logo. This does not look like Alpine artwork. I'm very confused. Let me see. Is there a can date? Can date of April 9th, 2021. So very new. And I know that Alpine's overgone a whole bunch of... Holy shit, this is an 11% beer?
So is it supposed to be Einstein?
Yeah. It's Hoppy Einstein.
Oh, dude, I just saw this in the fucking... I was just at Jimbo's. That's where I got this Yeti. I saw that. I could not tell you what brewery that was.
You would have never guessed that was Alpine, right?
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, what the fuck is that?
It's insane. Evidently, this is an 11% triple IPA. I done fucked up because it does not taste like that at all. It's very drinkable. Dude, it's 3 smooth. That's how smooth it is.
Oh jeez.
Oh Jesus. No, it's absolutely fucking fantastic. I'm very impressed. I don't even like a lot of Alpine's double IPAs, so I'm surprised I like this. But they did recently go through some management changes, especially at least the Alpine actual location in in Alpine.
Yeah,
I realized halfway through that sentence I was going to have to say it again. But the actual like brew pub location that used to be owned by Green Flash, they now own again. The actual family who started Alpine back in the day.
I'll just say this. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but never mind. I have to say this off air. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, it's more about everybody go check out what's her Instagram again.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
Okay, because
else, but it's still depressing. So
welcome to San Diego beer, y'all.
It has to do with the East County stereotype. That's all I'll say. Oh boy. Okay.
There's a shocker. Let me guess. Somebody's a big old racist. Okay, great news. Well, on that note, we will keep on moving on. You know who's not a racist? I fucking hope. I don't know anything about this company. I'm just really trying to segue. I am, lastly, the last plug I have for this is I am smoking some Urban Zen. It's all right. It's like very decent budget weed. I'm smoking some Golden Tangy. It's very like approachable, okay sativa. It's fine. I need like a daytime weed for skating and working and shit. And then what I also picked up is some No Till Kings cookies and cream what number is it? Cookies and cream number 2. And it is by far some of the best weed I've ever smoked in my fucking life. No Till Kings is, of course, a brand that is all focused on no-till farming. So essentially, they use a lot of living soil and stuff like that. It's a lot like it's more using natural ingredients and organic stuff, and it's maybe the smoothest weed I've ever smoked in my fucking life. Like I've never in my life taken a hit and being like, oh no, every weed I've ever smoked in my life has pesticides until I hit this thing. Because there's none of that like harsh throat burn afterwards at all. It kind of feels like a refreshing breath of fresh air. And then you're like, oh no, I've been doing weed wrong forever. So yeah, very good. Anyway, we're not a weed or a booze show despite spending a solid 20 minutes on it. You guys should have heard the 20 minutes Chris and I did before the show. That was a real sketchy weed and beer talk. So I guess on that note, Chris, we should get into our actual format, huh?
I think so.
Also, shouts to Mark Fellows, since we're ending the beer segment. I guess it's a good timing for it. He said he just boarded his flight, so he's gonna have to catch the replay later. But he gave a cheers. So cheers to Mark Fellows. Then I would argue maybe the number one beer / podcast fan on Twitter. I don't know anybody who loves podcasts and beer more than maybe us, aside from Mark, right?
I just like that he's an Aussie too. So that.
Oh yeah, well, he's definitely a more professional drunk than we are. I will guarantee that.
I mean, if you drink out of a shoe, you already got a leg up on me.
That's true. Yeah,
not he does to do that because I'm already a lightweight. So.
Yeah, he does have shoey advantage. Although I do have a shoey wager coming up with Chris Cyborg versus Leslie Smith happening in the near future. So we'll see how that goes.
That's right. That's right, mate.
Yeah, I can't wait for Leslie Smith to win so I can take a shoey. All right. On that note, Chris, why don't we start off with our MMA podcast you recommend people catch this week?
So I will start with Co-Main Event Podcast, episode 452. They start with the
so
question.
Good.
Yeah, it was a user question, I believe. They asked Ben and Chad, is it ethical to interview Diego Sanchez?
No. Spoiler alert. The answer is no.
Yeah, and they, as two experienced journalists, not just liking to mix martial arts as far as their journalism, just not preference. What's the term? Just
ethics.
God damn it! What's
style. I don't know what you're going for.
Just what they fuck, now my vocabulary's fucked.
Talk it through and I'll help you with
what
it.
They do. You know what I mean? It's what
their journalistic preferences. Like the style of journalism they like to cover.
What their profession is,
Right.
They're
not doing fucking investigative journalism is what you're saying.
Yeah, no. Yeah. As far as sports journalism goes. Anyways, they said it's apparent that there's a cult-like influence occurring between Diego and his coach / manager, Joshua Fabio, whatever you want to call that piece of shit.
Yeah, piece of shit works for me.
That's, I mean, yeah.
Narcissistic fuckboy, I would also accept. Giant,
Psycho.
selfish cunt.
Psycho.
Yeah. Just all around bad person.
I don't have too many notes on this because I was kind of angry.
Yeah, I mean, there's
this one.
It's very frustrating hearing Fabio, and especially since Diego has come from a long list of being grifted by people. I mean, that's anybody who's followed Diego's career.
Grifter is the word of the episode. A lot of shady grifters and
100%.
Well, grifters is I hear that all the time on Behind the Bastards because I listen to the Dr. Phil two-parter. But that's
boy, yeah, that has to be an honorable mention this week. Dr. Phil's the biggest fuck boy.
Is not a piece of shit. Okay?
No, he just he gives
just misunderstood.
children.
You know what? I played in the biggest blowout ever in NCAA history.
On the losing
no
side.
Evidence of me playing in that game.
But I was not on the winning side.
Yeah.
Also, I did drug and booze a lot of people backstage before putting them on air.
My favorite thing is, like, I think...
you might want to rephrase favorite.
not to already sidetrack, but when Robert was like... Oh, so who was Dr. Phil's wife or girlfriend? And I think Sophie is like, but he's tall! And I was like, God damn it, I just started laughing so hard.
100%. Dude, that show's the best. Anyway, we'll get to that for sure at some point. But speaking of grifters, though, Diego's coaches, Fabio's just the worst snake oil salesman we've seen in a while. It's so much worse than Ito Portal. Because Ito Portal knew he was a fuckboy, and so he tried to stay out of the limelight.
Was like, all right, mate, fuck off.
Yeah, but this is like grifter to the level where, like, yo, people need to get involved, and clearly, evidently, they have, and Diego keeps cutting out family members because of it.
Yeah, I heard about that too, man. Like, oh, goodness.
I mean, this is not the first time, or the second time, or the third time that this has happened specifically to Diego. And he has lost money every time. And also, hey, guess who got paid off of Diego's getting cut when he got his show and win money?
Dana? I don't know.
No, fucking Fabio, because he got, or Fabio, as I forget who kept referring to him as Fabio this week, but I fucks with that. Yeah, it's the worst. He's the fucking worst. Anyway, we should stop talking about that fucking con man because he doesn't deserve anyone's airtime. As a matter of fact, he doesn't deserve air. If we can take that away from him, I'll sign that petition. Also, I'm saying if he thinks he has a death touch, I'd like to see him try to fight a guillotine. All right, we're going to move on.
Sometimes when you want to practice a technique, now's the time to practice it on yourself.
Yeah. No, great point, Chris. If he does have a death touch, he should absolutely display it on himself. But we will start that GoFundMe immediately. Because you know he would sign up for a GoFundMe of him death touching himself for money. I don't know how he thinks he's going to make his way out of it at the end. But anyway. All right. So the other thing they talked about, oh, that's right. At the time when they recorded 452, it was TBA versus TBA at the start of the week.
That's right. God damn it.
Which is literally the MMA meme that everyone's been doing for a decade, except it actually happened. And then we got motherfucking Michelle Watterson main event for my birthday. Guess how happy I was about that. So actually, you know what? The best thing that happened on my birthday is Angie Hill didn't fight, so I didn't have to watch it.
That's a good point.
That's a very true statement. I went back and watched it later, but I sure as fuck didn't watch it the day of. I think the only other thing they talked about is Tito filing for unemployment while employed by the government. Which is fucking the most Tito move. Although, to be fair, I would argue probably not the first time someone on Huntington Beach City Council has probably done that. I guarantee some meth head on the council has done that before, having been in Huntington Beach plenty of times.
He's like, you talking about unpaid wages, B?
B, listen, I don't know who Wage is, but I never met him.
No pension? Never met
him. Yeah, exactly. All right, well, perfect. Let's see. Yeah, that was a really solid episode. Also, as you guys heard on the intro, was the was the clip, I believe, from that episode as well, right? Or was it the 453 clip that I pulled?
I think it was 452.
I think it was 452. Yeah, when oh no, wait. No, it's 453. Where I think I did the wrong title on that YouTube fucking image that I did. I think it's actually episode 453 that has the albino tigers thing that Ben did. So you know what? I'll go into that briefly as well, since the episode 453 from this week was really good too. He talks about the UFC stock being down. He says he needs a big summer for Connor and John, and how he should just fight for bragging rights like a true UFC head. Let's see, Chad. I don't know if you heard this, Chris. Chad Dundas on this episode said specifically that the reason why he immediately wanted to leave the... Actually, no, wait. You know what? That was the live chat. On this one, it was... No, you know what? It was 53, because that was the Ethically Sound Diego thing. I think we're both confusing 52 and 53. Because we've listened to both of them since the last episode.
No, I think I do remember them mentioning Tigers on it too.
Yeah, I saw. Anyway, we're including both because we're talking about both episodes. But co-main event episode 452 and 453 were both very solid. This is what happens when we're recording in like fucking 9 days apart from our last one. I'm all screwed up on timing. Let's see, Chris. Do we have any other catches that you had written down?
Yeah, let's. I got Heavy Hands 368.
Super solid.
Yeah, I like how I think it was Connor. He said Michael Chandler is so athletic. He's like so super fast that people degrade because he's so fast. It's like the episode in the X-Files. He's like where he's so fast that everyone starts disintegrating because he's so fast.
Yeah, I've been watching so much X-Files.
Dude, to be honest, I don't think I've watched a single episode of the X-Files. I know it's been on forever. It's kind of sad.
Well, I thought I saw way more of them than I did, and then I started rewatching them with girlfriend Karen. We've just been getting super fucking high and doing.
Well, you have to, yeah.
No, yeah, you get. Here's the key.
I know what's their name, Mulder and Scully.
Yeah, Mulder and Scully, 100%.
Okay.
No, here's how you do the X-Files. You roll the fat joint. You do a. Depending on your tolerance, somewhere between 20 to 80 milligrams of THC edibles. Or 100, so depending on your tolerance.
It's like smoking 5 bowls and then drinking some sort of liqueur.
Yeah, something like that. And then you just fucking melt into the couch and enjoy the chaos. It's fucking beautiful. I've been loving it.
Isn't that the show where he's like, I want to believe?
I mean, he does want to believe, but so does Tom DeLonge. Can you blame him, you know?
Where are you?
So sorry. Okay, we're not going to do our bits from before we started this episode. There was a good 3 minutes.
The cold open, you just record what you're talking about, and everyone's like entirely confused.
I need to start doing. You're right. I need to start doing the Connor Rebush thing where I record our pre-show.
We knew the lyrics, and then we also changed them up. It was great.
Yeah, I also don't know. We can put that on air in retrospect if I remember what we were talking about.
Oh.
Anyway. Yeah, the co-main event episode was super good. What episode were you just talking about? Heavy Hands.
Heavy Hands.
358. 68, right.
So Connor talks about the X-Files. They said, how does Chandler and Oliveira seize the moment and plant their back? Oh, they were just kind of just doing technique talk.
I really like that they described Chandler versus Oliveira being kind of like a funhouse mirror match.
Yeah.
Because it really kind of did play out that way in a lot of the same... Like, in a lot of different ways than they talked about, but in a lot of the same kinds of ways. Like, very much it's a matter of, like, who's going to die first from cardio versus who can sustain damage and not panic. And, like, that is exactly how that fight played out, you know?
Exactly. We'll get into that a little bit more because, we don't like to try to recap everything necessarily all at once pre our technical recap in the next segment.
Also our recaps get kind of chaotic in the next segment. So.
Chris, did you watch Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders?
I did not, but holy fuck have I heard a whole lot about it.
Connor's a big boxing guy, clearly, and he had a lot to say. I watched the highlights. I wasn't able to catch the fight when I got home from work. All I'll say is Canelo Alvarez. Jesus Christ! I mean, for being as technically small as he is, right? He's only like about 5'8".
Yeah, he's not a big dude.
He's like that Chandler build where he's built like he's super wide and fucking ripped and strong, but goddamn, the dude's fight IQ, the way he controls his head movement off the center line and just counters with those uppercuts. Fuck, man, like this dude is just one of the goats, really. Like this, even if you look at his record and strength of schedule, and the fact that Billy Joe Saunders was like 30-0. And even Billy Joe Saunders is looking really good in the middle rounds. Like, Canelo is just not scared of anyone. And that uppercut he had that landed, it basically fractured his entire right orbital.
Yeah.
And,
as
like,
a co-main event would say, it broke his whole shit.
It like broke half of his jaw. Like, I don't think anyone's beating Canelo. And this dude's it's hit so fucking hard for... And I don't want to say for being small. Like, he's a small...
No, but just for, like...
I get it, but, like, he's so strong. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's just the way he connects. Like, he connects and people's faces explode.
And
you know what I mean?
I apologize. I always forget his head coach's name. It's like something Reyes.
Yeah, it's...
Adolfo Reyes or
it's
something.
Something like that. He's from San Diego, right?
Yeah, he's based out of San Diego. And it's,
Yeah.
he's got the best head coaching.
name,
He's
too.
got the best head coaching game. Canelo is unbeatable. I know people say like his I think he has one loss ever, and that's against
Floyd
Mayweather.
Yeah.
But then again, that was like 10 fucking years ago.
And it was when Canelo was barely
He's
on
still
the
great.
scene. Yeah.
So, yeah, if you ask me right now, who wins between Prime Floyd and Prime Canelo? Probably taking Prime Canelo.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go
He
ahead and
makes that
say the
weight.
person who would win is the person who would take the fight.
Yeah, I know that's like hindsight 2020, but like just as someone who's been loosely following boxing again for the past like 5 years, fucking Canelo has been insane. I'll say this though, the first fight he had against Triple G did win the first fight.
I thought so. Yeah.
I'll say this, Canelo really has 2
Dude,
losses.
so
Whatever.
also, first off, shouts to fucking Adelaide Bird looking the wrong way the entire fight. Everybody go back and just watch Adelaide Bird in the background, just looking at Canelo the whole fight.
Triple G won the first fight, Canelo won the second. Let's get over it. Anyways, doesn't matter. They'll never fight again. Whatever. His fight against Saunders, outstanding performance. Nothing else to say. I hope that the folks that thought it was worth it to get COVID, unless they're vaccinated at Cowboy Stadium,
even then,
good luck to you in life.
Wait, well, Cowboy is outdoor, right? Or wait, no, it's not.
Oh no, it's very much a dome.
Yeah. I
So
don't.
good luck.
Man, and also here's the thing that I get that everybody wants to say like, oh, but they're spacing stuff out. It's very safe. It is very safe until we talk about bathrooms, and then it's not safe at all anymore because everybody's funneling into a small indoor closed area, and every single fucking person in the building goes in there, and there's only so many of them per the entire fucking place. So, like, really, if we're actually talking about this...
So, Chris, I'll say this.
And also I heard Petco's not good with social distancing.
Oh, see, I have no idea because I haven't gone to a game yet.
I know a guy. Shouts
go.
out to Jaycation on YouTube, who is he's a travel blogger, been around forever. San Diego local, grew up in Mira Mesa. Actually, was born at the Scripps Hospital down in. I feel like half of the people I know were born out down in over kind of by Hillcrest. You know that one?
Or is it like the Scripps location in La Jolla?
No, the Scripps Hospital, like it's the one like right by right by where that what's that super cool old school like sandwich bistro kind of place that used to have the fruit on the corner, like you know exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody who's driven through to Balboa Park knows when you're going towards Balboa Park and when you get off the freeway, you drive past that cafe that is the building with the fruit on the corner, like it's like molded into the if you're in there anyway, not important anyway. Jaycation has great talks about this, but he's gone to both the Dodger game and the Petco, and he's like, Dodger Games, they're doing a lot of great social distancing. Petco, they're not doing much of anything right now. It's like, yeah, that sounds like San Diego. Shouts out to being a military city. I mean, I live in Pacific Beach, so I know how everybody's been acting. I see them on the regular. It's not good. So,
Yeah.
to be fair, half of them are probably from Arizona, so we got that going for
By the
us.
way, shout out to you, you and I, Chris. I told you that for my birthday in July, I want to go to Padres game. I mean, we're both fully vaccinated, so I'm not worried about going to the game either way. But I'm still gonna wear a mask, of course. But
Oh, for sure.
if you are down to join, if you're available, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it's a midweek game, so we'll let everybody.
A little tough.
Yeah. We'll let everybody know if we do end up doing that. So if anybody ends up going, we'll definitely buy them a beer or something. I'm like anybody in San Diego that's at that game.
Bro,
we'll
I'm gonna do
definitely
it
buy 'em
big.
beer.
I'm gonna get some motherfucking Cardiff crack up in this bitch. Or some
Oh, you
tri-tip
got to,
nachos
dog.
from
Yeah.
From some
At least hit
seaside
up
market.
one of the sushi places. Yeah, dude. There's some. That's the one thing I love about Petco is there's so much good food in that motherfucker.
Yeah, you'd be
my
like this.
God.
Oh, Padres are up by 5. Fuck it, let's go fuck
Dude,
off for like.
I don't
10
care.
hours.
Yeah, I don't care about the game. I way more care about the bars and the food in that place. It's way tight.
Yeah, like right now they're playing. They're winning 7-0. So if you're at the game tonight, you're like, oh cool. So what can we do around the fucking stadium?
Yeah, 100%. Everybody's just bar hopping right now in the stadium.
Yeah.
For sure. Let's see. So that episode of Heavy Hands though was super solid.
Oh, it was great.
Let's see. So for one of my catches, I had Verbal Tap, episode 458. It's just a really fun episode. Kevin Bradley guests. Kevin Bradley hosts a show with another Kevin as well. I forget the name of the podcast, which is really bad of me. I really should know the name of that. Oh, God. I can't just Google Kevin Bradley like I'm going to be able to find something. I should have done this ahead of time. I will retweet Kevin Bradley's actual podcast that he hosts with another dude named Kevin. I don't remember the name of it. But anyway, he hosts with Raph and Kev, and so there's Kevin who's guesting. There's Kevin who that dude has a show with, and there's Kev who's the co-host with Raph on Verbal Tap. It gets very confusing very quickly. They all talk a bit about the Subspectrum Jiu-Jitsu Woodstock event, I believe is what it was called. And I think Kevin actually did the announcing for that. Essentially, it was like all I'm going to say is there's some very interesting stories about what the fuck this event is and how there was, let's just say, decent amounts of drugs involved. And it's held at an abandoned school. And it's a BJJ event, evidently. I highly recommend people look into this more because the little bit I heard about it was absolutely insane. But that's not why this is a catch. This is a catch because both Kevin the guest and Kevin the co-host, they tell some crazy fucking stories. Kevin the guest tells a story about as an Amazon worker delivering a box and getting into a fight with an entire meth family.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and then Kevin, the co-host, tells stories about bouncing that went haywire. And then they did the classic over-under Kev for UFC 262. Just a fucking great episode and a great example of why that show is fun as hell. So, highly recommend it.
Nice.
Have you listened to much of Verbal Tap?
Dude,
I know you listen to
like,
some of them, yeah.
Maybe just a handful of times over the years. I know I've listened before.
Yeah,
But it's definitely been a while.
Yeah, it's one of my regular listens. Like, I really think that show is super underrated. But it also, like, it benefits from having a fun guest on it because when it's just them, sometimes you'll get an episode that's like, we're going to talk about the Academy Awards for fucking 30 minutes of this show because one of us is in the industry and the other one is angry at the industry. So, let's see. Do you have any other catches for this one, Chris?
Yeah, let me see. I already mentioned Come In and Heavy Hands. I'll do Jack Slack episode 29.
Yeah, both the Jack Slack episodes were super good, but 29 was really good.
So he said, in the sport of weird athletes, Anthony Rumble Johnson is perplexing since he's so charming in interviews, but once you don't see him in interviews and whatnot, you find out he's been arrested for using a stolen credit card to pay for plane tickets 2 years ago. What is going on? And a stolen identity claim. Yeah.
Just not a good dude. I think it can be definitively said at this point.
He's a moron and a shithead.
I don't. You know what? I'm not one to throw incredulous rumors around, just randomly accusing people. But who's his manager and what crimes has he been accused of in the past?
Has he gone under the name or identity known as Robert Brighton?
Oh, weird, because that's not his name or identity.
Yeah.
Huh.
Has he also claimed to have been on the United States Olympic team for, what was it, wrestling? Or judo? In Colorado Training Center?
Weird that people...
And he had an ABP out for him?
Weird that people with... who employ one another commit similar crimes. That's a weird coincidence, huh?
Yeah. Interesting.
Also, shouts out on a completely unrelated note to all of the Ali Abdelaziz fighters getting easier matchups in the PFL tourney. If you noticed that.
Shouts out to what's his face, Lance Palmer.
Well, it was Palmer and another dude. We tweeted out about it, but yeah, it's embarrassing. We talked about this since the beginning of that. Since I was calling it Pizza Fun League 2 years ago. Back on the MMA community forums, but it's problematic.
Right? Yeah. Well.
Anyway, so Jack Slack 29. He also talks about the. Do we mention weird other coincidence that totally doesn't have to do with what we were talking about? You see, Verdum got his loss overturned, which Jack Slack talked about in this episode.
Saw that.
Huh? Can't be related to who his manager is, huh? Yeah. Probably not.
Phantom Tap.
Yeah.
He unfortunately talked about a fight that gives me PTSD to this day, still and always will, and I'll watch this fight. Not looking forward to it because it's happening, apparently. Francis Ngannou versus Derek Lewis 2.
Oh, you have PTSD because you were there in person.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
How bad? So we gotta recap this. How was it more frustrating in person, or is it more frustrating on TV? Because you watched it afterwards.
In person, it's way worse. Because I'll say this: right when it started, obviously
everybody expects someone to die immediately,
and immediately it's just booing, right? Not even wooing; it's just booing.
It was like 20 seconds until there was boos. Yeah.
After a minute and a half, or like halfway through the first round. It's people booing, and then someone brings out the flashlight in their phone, right? And then everyone does. So it's like you're at a fucking concert.
Well, and then everybody starts feeling dignified in the booing and memeing.
The only entertaining part was that in unison with, like, where the Vegas Knights plays the T-Mobile, and it's probably about, like, 15,000 people. Probably a little less than that, because hockey arenas aren't that big. But
it was popping, I remember that.
Either way, it was like I was watching Gladiator. It was just, fight. And like even I was saying that. I was like, fight. Like everyone's just into it. And like I remember I look at my brother and I'm like, dude, do you want a beer? And he's like, yeah, dude, they're just
no, that's 100% when you go get a beer. I
swear to you on my life, like I literally go 10-15 minutes later, I come back to start the third round, and I'm like, did I miss anything? Kyle's like, nah, dude. It's just them just like this.
Yeah. No, there's certain fights
like,
where you know
I'm like, oh no, and then all of a sudden it's like, and your winner by decision, Derek Lewis. And you're like, what?
You're like, no one won.
Does Derek Lewis happen to land some leg kicks on the outside? Like, what? By the way, I think Francis Ngannou should win this fight in the rematch, but who cares?
You know what? I'm just praying for it to look like the first fight, so that Dana White.
Someone should get knocked out, please.
No, I want it to look.
If you ask me honestly, who do I want to win? I want Derek Lewis to win.
I want it to look.
I like Francis, but like Derek Lewis winning would be the funniest shit ever. And I'm not saying a demeaning way.
I'm on the galaxy brain thinking, Chris. I want it to look worse than the first fight, so that Dana White has to literally stare reality in the face of not booking John Jones.
Call it a draw. Yeah, even worse.
No, dude, like I want it to be fucking. They throw 4 punches the whole time, and 2 of them were from halfway across the cage.
John Jones the whole time. It's just fucking blown up.
Dude, he's just live streaming himself beating off to it because he's so happy. Dan Tom fucking jerk off gif, which we finally got, by the way. Shouts to Dan Tom for finally getting us the. I didn't want to throw that out on Twitter because I didn't know if Dan Tom wanted that gif all over the place. But you best believe next time Dana White says some dumb shit, I almost threw it out this week, but it didn't deserve it yet. But next time Dana White says some dumb shit, you're gonna see some Dan Tom jerk off gifs on the regs. Or anyone, really. Y'all can all catch these Dan Tom jerk-off gifs. There's got to be a better way to phrase that. Anyway. Yeah, how did we get here? Was it the Jack Slack podcast? How did we get here?
Yeah, he's just like, Ngannou vs. Lewis 2 is the thing. He's like, oh boy. Then he said, Tony Ferguson is being put out to pasture. And this is before the fight even happened. He just said these fighters are all ascending against him, and he's like, I don't think he's going to win. Yeah, he ended up being right. He's talking about how the UFC, the main coverage of Chandler and their love for him, yada, yada, yada. He was talking about Oliveira having the cardio to go 5, but it comes down to willingness to work from his back if Chandler wins the grappling exchanges. We saw it in the first round, actually.
Yep.
As Oliveira was hurt. He was probably kind of hurt, honestly.
He was hurt bad. He was rocked pretty bad. But, like,
it was great recovery.
You could argue that was a 10-8. It's right on the edge. Right on the edge.
I wouldn't say 10-8 only because Oliveira had his back for, like, at least a minute or a minute and a half, and he kind of... But damn,
he wasn't that close, though, with the finish from the back, though.
Yeah, well, it wasn't close because Chandler's fighting hands, so.
But but he did start to land. He did land in moments.
And Jack,
it's right on the edge.
Chandler won't be dumb enough to do too much output early. He kind of did, I guess, in hindsight. But that also comes down to Oliveira pressed forward in the second round, which Chandler didn't expect.
So Chandler did sell out, but less than I expected him to. Yeah. Like, he didn't sell out as hard as I expected.
I'll say this. We'll get into the fight recap, but I was a little surprised at how early Chandler was finished. I wasn't surprised he was finished, but, like, how early it happened. I'm not going to take anything from Oliveira. That was an excellent, just flush left hook. That was light.
Dude, yeah, he clipped him so clean enough times in a row to where it was like, that's a wrap. But, I thought either way it was going to go to the third, or into the set. Was it third or second when he got finished?
He got finished in the first 20 seconds of the second.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I thought it was going to either hit the end of the second or the third.
Yeah, I think it was truly a 50-50 fight. I mean, that first round was close.
Dude, yeah, it was super close, and Oliveira's getting banged on.
And we'll talk about what's next,
we'll get to that.
And all that. But that's all I got for Jack Slack. He also said, bummer that we lost Edwards versus Diaz, because, we're not going to get a 5-round co-main. Now it's going to be a 3-round fight. And it's like, fuck.
I'd rather have it be a 3-round fight.
Yeah, because it's like, I know someone I worked to was like, oh, well, I like Diaz's chances in the 5-round. I'm like, I don't. I think he loses no matter what to Leon Edwards, if you ask me. I think Leon Edwards beats the fuck out of him.
I mean, unless Leon Edwards decides he doesn't like wrestling anymore.
Exactly, yeah.
But if he decides he still likes wrestling...
It's going to be a fucking domination from Edwards.
It's going to look like somewhere between the Condit and the GSP fight.
And Jack Slack
also... more wrestling.
I think it was Jack Slack that he said...
Actually, no. Who was it that pinned him on the cage? Was it Rory that just put him on the cage the whole time in the clinch and beat him up?
Are you talking about against Nate?
Yeah.
Oh, he did more than that.
And then he just kept dumping him the whole time?
Yeah, he violated...
I think that's kind of how this fight's going to go.
I think, I don't know if it was Jack or someone else, but I think he said the fans that annoy me the most are Diaz brothers fans and Habib fans and Conor fans, and not in necessary order, but those 3 fan bases.
That's fair, but as someone who's a Diaz brothers fan, he can eat a dick.
I know, because that's why I like teasing you too. I like bringing it up because I know it fucks with you. But it's like,
to be fair, I think it's just because
I did see some comments even today. I'm like, okay, calm down.
See, I think it's just because I'm a fan of anyone who's hashtag Team Spectrum, as some people in MMA might say, because I feel that anxiety when they talk. I know that anxiety. It makes me feel
special needs.
Dude, I'm talking about how when they talk out loud, they have the anxiety that I feel when I talk, and it calms me. So that's why, like, when everybody's like, "Yo, it's crazy how the Diaz brothers go all over the place and have this weird pressured speech patterns," I'm like, dude, it's not. It's very explainable. It is 100% anxiety, and they tell you that every time they talk.
Even Nick Diaz, on a real note, even I think explained like he's
they always talk about it. Yeah, they hate
not like talking in public.
Yeah. I have very similar tendencies, but in a different kind of a way. So I get it. I don't know.
I like the Diaz brothers, but yeah, I have seen some comments from some super fans. I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
oh no, 100% the fucking 2-3-5s on are brutal, bro. Dude, don't get me wrong. Like half the time I joke just because I know how awful it is to deal with those people, but. To be fair, some of those arguments I don't necessarily disagree with. Connor did run in second fight and did lose it.
I don't need to talk about that. I agree with that.
Connor lost that second fight. Anybody tell me different?
The thing I laugh about is like, oh, imagine what Nate would have done to Habib. I'm just like, you poor child.
Would have gotten subbed super.
You poor child.
Super
quick.
quicker,
Habib would have violated him.
Actually, yeah, no, he wouldn't have gotten subbed. He would have gotten TKO'd, but.
Yeah.
Only because the ref would have been like, we can't just let you sit in mountain for this long, sir.
It'd be Habib like, you like to keep talking?
Yeah. Yeah, it looked like, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't look like, it looked better than the Michael Johnson fight, but not a lot better.
Anyways, good luck to Nate, though, in all sincerity. I'm not necessarily.
I mean, I'm the biggest Diaz
based
brothers
on how
fan.
Leon acted towards Bilal Muhammad. That was a little kind of, whoa, what are we doing? Acting. He's like, I did poke him in the eye, mate.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so Leon Edwards that it doesn't even register on my radar at this point. It's exactly what I.
As Colby.
Yeah, it's Leon doing Leon shit at this point, right? Let's be honest. And Leon's been fucked over enough that
he's like, mate, fucking Birmingham is a shithole.
I don't know anything about Birmingham, but goddamn, you say anything in a Darren Till accent, it's very funny.
Go check out Darren Till's Instagram today. It's fucking comedy. The dude's all over the place with who he's roasting.
That's about right.
It's entertaining.
Also, I guess we should say for the record, we're recording this on Monday night, the 17th? Yeah, 17th of May. For the record. Cool, man. Let's see. I will rattle off the other two catches I have real quick. Since we should probably get moving on this thing. But Best Camp of My Life, episode 28, was super good. This was from last week. This was, I think I mentioned it actually on last week's show, but I hadn't listened to it yet. I think
somebody knocking my door. Hold on.
Yeah, go for it. Here, I'll mute Chris on the stream. Please let me remember that. So never mind, he's back. So yeah, Best Camp of My Life, episode 28 was that's of course Fernando Prochaz's show on Fanbyte, which I absolutely love, and oh my god, I'm just so happy that Danielle Rando and Fernando Prochaz are making content together. It's so fucking cool. On a non-MMA related note, everybody go listen to more of oh god, what's their here, I have it. Oh, where's my phone? I have their here, I'll talk about the episode while I'm pulling this up, but Best Camp of My Life, episode 28, Fernando Prochaz had on Steffi Haynes, and they talk a lot about the MMA industry. Of course, Steffi being the OG female in the... sorry, I don't mean to fucking female. The fucking... the OG woman in MMA, her and Loretta Hunt are, wow, as far as I am concerned, like, and like I believe Anaisa, apologies for probably butchering her name, but like some of the people who are absolutely big forces in MMA and MMA journalism, especially with Steffi Kirkland being absolutely one of the OG MMA podcasters and one of the reasons why MMA podcasting is what it is right now. I mean, Chris, you of course know Steffi from being the person who produces every single Bloody Elbow podcast.
Yep.
She also actually, technically, I learned in this episode, also produces Kid Nate's Let It Roll podcast on the side as well, which is pretty cool. Because I didn't know she actually formally produced that. Because I know she does a lot of production stuff on a lot of like tangential shows, but I didn't know that she was full time on that, so that's pretty dope. But yeah, overall, just absolutely great episodes. Very cool hearing Steffi like talk about not only like her background and how she got into mixed martial arts, but everything from like the early days in like '05 doing MMA podcasts. Like she had her podcast MMA Conversations back in '05, which I actually have never heard. I've heard of it. I've never heard it because it's hard to find nowadays. I know that it was around the time when Gorgeous George and Goes first started doing tag radio stuff with Frank Trigg. Or I was actually probably prior to that, but after Ryan Bennett was doing some of his early... I can't remember the name of Ryan Bennett's show right now. It's in the... We put it in the link for every episode we talk about. Some of Ryan Bennett's stuff. It's... The reason why I can't remember it's because it's like MMA and then... Or is it even MMA? Or is it NHB?
If you want to call it, yeah.
Anyway, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but very, very old school MMA podcast. Jesus Christ. Very, very old school MMA podcast talk, so... If you guys are all interested in that, it's cool hearing Steffi talk about the early days with like Gorgeous George and Goes and Damon Martin and everybody who was, like I said, Loretta Hunt, Eddie Goldman, like the old school days of MMA and MMA broadcasting specifically. So that was really cool to hear. She also talks a bit about being a nurse and some like personal stuff, working for Pro Elite and Tap Out way back in the day, and some of the old interviews that she did. And yeah, just really interesting conversations between Steffi about the early days of the sport that like I've heard Steffi talk about a lot of this stuff, and I just kind of know it from knowing her story because I'm a big Steffi Haynes fan. But yeah, it's very cool to hear Crooklyn go into detail on this, and she's absolutely one of the most. And without her and TJ DeSantis and Ryan Bennett and I would say Gorgeous George and Goes and a couple other people, there would not be a MMA podcast in the way they exist today. And she's a giant force in that. She's also a big force in why, in my belief, her and Loretta Hunt are a big force in why women are still in this sport and still having a strong voice. Because for a long time they were chased out, and it was people like Steffi who was kind of fighting back against that and being a loud proponent for more voices like it. And she still is to this day, which is why you always see Steffi. Like, Steffi is great if you're looking for voices that you feel like you're looking for underrepresented voices in the sport. Steffi is always putting on people that you will absolutely be a fans of. People like G from the WoCast, she's a big proponent of. She's been a big proponent of Fernanda. She's been a big proponent of a bunch of people in the sport who have gone on to put out great content. And she's just great at finding fucking funny, interesting people. Like, even people like KGB on Twitter, who's fucking hilarious. And while she is low-key throwing shade at everybody, especially Josh Fabia, yo, KGB light me up on the regs, bro. But it's interesting to see her promoting so many interesting people in the sport. And yeah, more people need to give credit to Steffi Haynes because she's a bad motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see, Chris, do you have any other catches for this one?
No, the rest are just mentions.
All right, the last catch I had, so this wasn't going to be a catch for me, but I realized it's not fair because of why it wasn't going to be a catch for me. So, the Fight Site Strength and Conditioning for MMA podcast. Did you listen to this?
I did not, unfortunately.
So, this is a podcast that Ed did with Zach Makovsky and Gil. I apologize, Gil, for I'm going to butcher the shit out of your last name, but it's Guardado, I believe. But he's a strength and conditioning coach for Extreme Couture, I believe. I apologize if he does more than that or if that is misquoted. And then Zach Makovsky, of course, you guys know, former UFC fighter. Also, Zach talks a decent amount about how he did a good amount of strength and conditioning coaching in his early days before and after fighting. So it's pretty interesting. The only reason why I didn't have this as a catch is because, number one, I don't know if y'all see my fat ass and my goddamn skate gear. I'm not exactly fucking lifting metal on the rigs, bro. Number two, there was a kid in the background of a lot of this, Gil's kid, and I can't hear children in the background of podcasts. It drives me fucking nuts. But
I don't blame you.
that's not fair because that's not everybody. And like, if you're someone who can hear a kid in the background of a show, and it doesn't bother you, I bet that you would find this
That
very
means you have a
interesting.
kid that's just like that.
Well, exactly, and I would argue that like most people with kids probably would not mind it because you can kind of tune it out. I would assume. I would assume that's how that works. I can't do it, but Dan Tom gave it a good enough recommendation as someone who doesn't have a kid, because Dan Tom, as far as I know, doesn't have a kid. If he does, it's not my business. I don't think. That was weird. I don't know why I said it like that. Dan Tom.
He does or he does.
My point being, Dan Tom gave it a recommendation, and I was like, you know what? If Dan Tom found it useful enough and he could deal with the yelling, who am I? That's just me hating children. And that's not fair to everybody who listens to our show. Not everybody who listens to our show hates children like me. So, yeah. So, the Fight Side Strength Conditioning for MMA podcast. It's really good. I just can't hear kids yell. I get fucking bummed out very quickly. So, I do highly recommend it, though. Let's see. Chris, you said you have all honorable mentions from this point, right?
Yep.
All right, so my can't miss for this week is Tangradome, episode 11, which is, of course, the podcast hosted by Iggy over on the Fight Site. It's a mailbag episode, and I have not yet listened to episode 12, which actually came out, I believe today when we're recording this on Monday. That already came out on late Sunday, since he's, of course, in farm time in Mongolia or Mongolian provinces. I'm misquoting this and Iggy's gonna yell at me. I immediately panicked when I started trying to say what area of the world he's from. Point being, most of this episode is all about Mongolian wrestling and just kind of the history of the Mongolian region, and steppe people in general, and it's absolutely fascinating. I didn't know any of this. I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce any of the names of the people he talks about or the groups of peoples, because I'm not even gonna say. The only time I'm gonna even say the name Genghis Khan is right now, because I know I'm saying that very
it's Genghis Khan,
dude,
man.
we're both saying it very incorrectly, and I don't even want to say it again after that one time. So if you guys would like to learn a lot about not only the region, but just a lot of funny and interesting stories, everything from just kind of different types of tribes and groups of people and kind of the culture of the region, to everything from like some national festivals that celebrate specific types of like Mongolian wrestling, to the different tiers of wrestling, to the different variants of rules and equipment. He talks about why Mongolian wrestling is kind of known as slutty sambo. That's a thing they talk about. He talks about. He tells a tale, actually, like a very famous like Mongolian wrestling tale, and some more. Oh boy, I have to say his name again. I apologize. Genghis Khan. I know that's wrong. It's probably I know Genghis Khan is wrong. I apologize for my terrible fucking pronunciation of everything. But he talks about that dude being essentially illiterate and having no formal educational training, but being able to understand political principles and engagements to a point where he essentially created empires, like giant, like almost near worldwide empires at the time, and kind of how wild that is. And then he also talks about other stuff like cross-disciplinary training, and like Iggy, for example, talks about how since he studied linguistics a lot in school, that he uses examples of like cross-disciplinary learning when it comes to linguistics, and how like how some of that can translate not necessarily directly but esoterically to different aspects of just learning in general. So yeah, really interesting, and man, it's exactly the kind of podcast that I don't know where else you can learn that shit about MMA. And MMA is, as Iggy says, and as I believe a lot of the Fight Site guys talk about, MMA is very much a sport that, like, Iggy talks actually a lot in this episode about how MMA is a sport that inherently forces you to learn about the world, because if you don't really understand the people in the sport, you know? And so it's one of those interesting things that I think not only is very relevant, but it's interesting hearing it from someone with such a different perspective, as Iggy would say, born on a fucking farm and in the middle of nowhere, yet he still has better internet than Chris. So, suck it.
Bird.
Oh yeah, so absolutely go listen to Tengridome. I guarantee you don't know a podcast like Tengridome. I'll put money on that. If you do know a podcast like Tengridome, send it to me because I want to listen to it. Let's see, Chris. I do have a couple new shows. Have you listened to new shows?
No, unfortunately not.
So I have two,
my schedule. It's excellent.
Yeah. So I have two very quick ones. The first one is the Fight Site's Bad Calls, which essentially Ed Gallo just takes a look at a couple fights for a specific fighter, or a certain fight for a specific fighter, and looks at some of the decisions that were notoriously bad surrounding them. The episode I checked out was the Diego Sanchez episode, where he takes a look at the scoring criteria specifically. He reads it off to the audience, explains how the scoring criteria works, explains like, hey, if effective striking is not the same and grappling is not the same, that's the only time you go to cage control and that kind of thing. He does it very precisely. He does it very by the book, which the sport needs more of. The three fights he looked at was Diego versus Martin Kampmann, Takanori Gomi, and Ross Pearson, which are three very brutal fights to rewatch the scoring of. All I will talk about in this is the Kampmann one because I don't want to give it all away. But let's just put it this way. If you were to score the Kampmann fight today, the first round is a 10-8 alone, which means it's a draw at best. And yeah, spoiler, Diego Sanchez should not have won that fight. So it's very interesting to hear Ed go through it point by point and kind of, when you listen, if you guys want to learn more about scoring, like very much in the same vein of how when Shawnee podcasts, Sean Sheehan goes through and does some of his scoring stuff or some of his fight review stuff, he'll very succinctly sum up why people are winning rounds and where people are ahead and what makes them ahead. And Gallo's doing a very similar kind of thing, but in a very kind of different kind of way. It reminds me a lot of the Couchside Judges podcast, which do a kind of a similar thing, although they use their own scoring criteria where they do like an exaggerated 10-8, 10-7 scorecard to try and make an example of when rounds are closer versus further. Whereas Ed's doing it more by like looking at old fights with a modern scoring criteria. So very interesting, and I highly recommend it. But yeah, you'll realize Diego Sanchez lost a lot of the fucking fights in his career if you go back and watch him, because it's just him punching. It's him swinging very wildly at air and hitting every 10th punch while someone's jabbing him to death and leg kicking him, and it doesn't hold up. The other one that I had for my new show this week was Hind Fight MMA, which I swear we have talked about before, but I looked on the site and I can't find it anywhere, so evidently we have not. Hind Fight MMA is fucking awesome. You guys are also going to hear a clip on the break of it. This was season 2, episode 9. This is hosted by Ben Kiley and Jason Brennan, and they talk about the things happening at the time of UFC 3, and this is specifically about Chemo versus Hoist. And oh boy, they have some of the funniest jokes I heard this week in podcasts. Man, I don't want to repeat their jokes out of context because it's going to sound bad. But let's just say that Jason suggests Deontay carries out a giant cross to the ring, like Chemo Leopoldo used to do. And let's just say that Ben had a very smart yet hilarious response to why that's a bad idea. It's very funny. I don't want to get into it too much, but it's a very funny episode, and I'm definitely going to be listening to more Hindsight
Sounds
MMA.
very Manny Pacquiao-esque, but yeah.
It's yeah. Manny Pacquiao is one of the parts. Yeah, kind of like that. There's a whole Texas tint to it as well. Well, go ahead and listen to it and let me know your thoughts. I thought it was a very funny joke. Or at least a very funny reference. Let's see. Let's talk about the cage door flying open and how the rest of the tourney was just a complete mess and everybody fell out. And I think that was the tourney where I believe Steve Jenham ended up winning as an alternate after having fought one person. That kind of shit. So yeah, very funny episode. And I'm just a big fan. I'm definitely going to be listening to more of it. So Hindsight MMA. Highly recommend it.
Nice.
Let's see, Chris. You said you had some honorable mentions, right?
Yeah, I'll try to go through this quick because I do have to piss my pants. So,
Yeah.
real quick, with Mike Swick, episode 129 was solid. He had on middleweight title contender Marvin Vittori. Solid interview.
How mad was Vittori?
He was He was tolerable.
Okay, because he's always so mad. I don't think I've ever seen him
He's
not
always
mad.
so fucking angry.
Yeah, he's got that Italian
which
rage
is-
for sure.
I don't get it. Yeah, the Italian temper reminds me of my dad.
I was
growing
gonna say,
up. He's like,
you
"It's my
literally-
Italian temper," and he just yells. And it's
Yeah.
like, whoa, it's like Jesus fucking Christ.
Yo, as someone who comes from a family of Germans, I understand.
Yeah.
There's a lot of yelling in those
Either
households.
way, he was loud a couple times, but he was solid. He broke down Holland's last 2 fights, between Brunson and and of course himself against. And it was Mike Swick did a good job, kind of breaking down the grappling and saying, okay, well, here's how the first time you fought Adesanya went. You were pretty successful in the grappling. Are you going to capitalize and continue with the grappling initially, or are you going to go with kind of more like a jab first? Because Vittori's a very good jab and kind of like that right cross.
Well, and he's
got
very
some
good.
fast hands.
Yeah, he's very good working.
He was with Rafael Cordero.
Yeah, he's really good at working a Covington style game plan too, where you just throw out massive volume into people and they panic.
I right now, Adesanya should win that fight again. Vittori's decent enough on the feet to cause some problems, but the length and range though that Adesanya has, especially at that weight class.
Well, especially since Adesanya's a lot better wrestler than he was at the time.
Yeah, so I'm taking Adesanya again once the fight happens, which is in about 4 weeks. But all credit to Marvin Vittori. The guy deserves a title shot. The guy's been working his ass off. Came across likable in this interview. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but yeah, it's just when he comes across kind of angry and a little
He's always comes across angry and temperamental.
It's a little off-putting, but I get it. There's been other fighters been like that. So, but it was a good interview. Mike Swick did a good job.
As someone who comes off angry and temperamental, I get it, bro.
Mookie and Crookie 121 was good.
Yeah.
They're basically saying Cowboys should retire. Yeah, obviously. John Nash, the best part of this episode, he explained what an IPO was, and as far as what Endeavor does, as how Endeavor makes money for the UFC and how they make money for themselves. They broke the money.
Yeah, as well as why they chose to do it too.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was good. He also talked about how much money Conor McGregor really makes versus how much he says he makes.
Yeah, which spoiler, I believe the number was between 100 and 200 mil for the proper 12 sale, not 6.
Yeah. and they had high praise for boxing in general in 2021. I've watched a lot of the major boxing matches so far, and they had high praise for Canelo against Billy Joe Saunders, who was a piece of shit. So I'm glad Canelo won.
Yeah,
by
I
the
mean,
way. For
nobody's
those who don't
ever
pay attention,
liked him.
Billy Joe Saunders
He's
is
the
not
worst.
a good person.
No.
He's a terrible person.
Yeah,
So,
he makes Tyson Fury look great in comparison.
yes. Other than that, MMA Vivisection, and then I'd give a shout out to Half the Battle.
Oh yeah, dude, I've been meaning to catch Half the Battle.
And that's it for me. And if you don't mind, I have to rush to the bathroom.
Go for it.
Oh my goodness, I'll be right back. I apologize.
Go for it, bro. Well, I will rattle off the rest of my honorable mentions while Chris punches his mic. Let's see. I got the Chasing Pack for May 4th, 2021 was really solid with Shawnee and Ian O'Neill talking Invicta, PFL, and oh shit, Cage Warriors are coming to San Diego, by the way. That's something we will talk about to Chris about when he gets back. CME live chat for May 5th was really good. Just a great episode overall. And they talk about why the UFC chose Waterson versus Rodriguez as the fill-in main event, which I bet y'all can guess why. We talked heavy hand 350 or 368, but 367 was really solid as well. That was a really good one. We talked CME. CME live chat for May 12th was really good as well. Rumble getting arrested for identity theft. And also Chad Dundas talks a little bit about why he left the board of the MAJA, mostly because everyone was just acting like dicks as soon as they started it, which kind of seems like what was happening behind the scenes in retrospect, based on how all of the MAJA has gone. Seems like Josh Gross is helpful and everybody else is kind of a fuckboy. But as an outsider, what do I know? Because they don't let anybody in who cares about the sport. Unless they are a fucking big boy with MMA media. Jack Slack episode 28 and 29 was super solid. Chris just mentioned the Mookie and Crookie episode 121. That was really good. UFC Unfiltered for May 12th, 2021 was awesome. TJ Santos co-hosted with Jim Norton. I was super stoked to hear it. They even get into TJ's love of nu metal and the early days of podcasting and TJ's commentating. It's fucking dope. There is some questionable interviews with Tony about Tony having vague semi-anti-COVID sentiments and like changing up his entire camp and all that shit. I did not have Tony going into this fight mostly because of this interview and a couple others where he's like, I got rid of everyone and I've been listening to Brock Lesnar. It's like, okay, bro, great news. Let's see, MMA ratings episode 204 was super solid. SWAT MMA episode 99 was awesome. They've been smoking Runts and apple fritter, which actually, on that note, while I'm talking, I do have some fresh baked apple fritter, which I was actually smoking while I listened to this episode, and it is great. If you guys ever have a chance to try the apple fritter strain, it is very, very. Oh God, my combination of. Oh wait, there we go. I need to start like tilting for the light is my problem. You can almost see that. Yeah, I gotta like tilt. Okay, I kind of figured this out. This camera sucks, but I'm starting to figure it out. Anyway, this apple fritter is so fire. It definitely has like a little bit of a just a touch of a cheesiness to it. Like, not quite, like, kind of like cheese Danish-y cheese. Not like funky UK cheese or blue cheese strains, but like more of like the cheesy Danish-y kind of strains. Almost more towards like the gelato side. But yeah, very good though. And it's got like a little bit of that sour gas apple to it. I fucking love it. And of course, Runts is almost all just like sweet gelato. Like, it's fire. Especially the white Runts. Fucks with the white Runts. Let's see. Heavy Hands 368, I think we talked about. But if we didn't, it was great. Best Camp of My Life, episode 29. Boo Boo, a.k.a. Rodrigo Del Campo, guess. Shouts to Boo Boo. I've not been calling him Boo Boo, but since him and Fernando made it a whole ass segment on the intro, 100% calling Rodrigo Boo Boo from now on. So shouts to Boo Boo. But there was a fun episode. Also, Fernando mentioned that boxing makes her narcoleptic, which man, depending on how many drinks I've had, boxing will lull you a little bit. Let's see. Protecting Neck episode 260 was super solid. He talks about how Tony is reminding Dan of the drunk uncle at the barbecue at this point in time, which I'm 100% on board for. And also, like we mentioned, he shouted out the Fight Site Strength Conditioning episode, which was solid. So definitely that one was good. And then lastly, and these are in no particular order, Unleashed episode 85, Ed Carbajal guested on with Ant Walker and Jay Petrie and Ben Duffy over on Unleashed. And yeah, it was a great episode. Chris, before we get to our break here right now, I do have one question for you.
What's up?
Have you tried to bribe Shawnee Podcast into letting you cover the Humphreys at the Bay event that Cage Warriors is doing yet?
No, I have not. So, how would you like me to cover that as far as cover it for a podcast? Because I will definitely be taking pictures because I will 1,000% be there with you.
Really? Well, so here's the thing. They're only allowing 500 people in.
So, Chris, how do we get in?
Well, if you're smart, you've already entered to apply for early access to ticket sales like I have. If you're not smart, then you're going to be sent a link by me right after this, and you'll find out. And this is also a call to Sean Sheehan that if he wants an article from a legit journalist with an SDSU graduate degree, if he wants an article about this event, I happen to know a guy here in San Diego that might write an article if he wants one.
That's the rumor, right? Yeah, no, I think I know a guy who can do that.
Yeah, so just throwing it out there. Also, to be fair though, I don't know what this is gonna look like. Humphreys is a giant venue, and only 500 people is totally fucking
also
dope.
I think I've been to Humphreys before.
It's outdoor, right?
When I was like a child.
It's outdoor, right?
I remember what it was, but I remember I was like 10 years old.
Yeah, I haven't been there in literally over a decade.
Badass like orchestra or some shit, that you see. That my parents took me to when I was a kid because, of course, they with their ticket got a shit ton of spirits and drinks and stuff. Well, like me and my brother, where's the mom and dad?
Yeah, no, 100%. It's one of those venues. Yeah.
It's like, I don't blame him, but yeah, I think that's the last time I was at Humphreys. Is I was like 10 years old. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Dude, I think that was around the last time I was there. It was probably around that time. Yeah, and I think I went there once, and again, similar. It's like my parents were like, sit here, don't move. We're gonna be at the bar, kind of thing.
Yeah, so. Exactly. I think I had my Game Boy. I don't know.
Yeah, 100%. So that's hilarious. But yeah, I'm gonna already theoretically, I gotta be on the earliest of fucking people. So here, I'll tell you right now. I'll tell everybody listening. If you're in San Diego or the Southern California area, if you right now go to Graham Boylan's Instagram, he put up a link for where you can sign up for pre-sale notifications. And I don't know that it's going to even pre-sale. I don't know if they're giving them away. I don't know what they're doing. I don't think anybody knows about this San Diego event in San Diego because I didn't know about it until I heard Sean Sheehan talk about it.
I'll be able to be one of the 500, Chris.
I think we can probably. Well, first off, I think you might know a guy if we really need to do it that way. And I don't mean Sean Sheehan. I think you might just know a guy at Humphreys probably. but if not, I feel like we might be able to get on that short list, Chris. With I feel like we got enough connections. We throw a brewery name around. We name drop a motherfucker or two.
All you got to do is the trailer park boys route, and you go like this. Yeah, you know Jim? I know Jim. Oh, you know Jim? And that's it.
Yeah. Just tell everybody's name Graham. So you just say Oh no, not that Graham. I know the other Graham. No, not that Graham. The other Graham. No, I said Graham, not Graham. It's a lot of that, right? All right, great. This is a great bit that we've drug into the ground, way past its fucking due date. On that note, Chris, we are going to take a very quick break, and then we're going to be back to talk about some motherfucking fights.
Yeah, I'll be back in probably 5-ish minutes. My brother just literally got back from Las Vegas, so I gotta talk to him quick.
Well, good news is we got all types of shit. I got all types of shit queued up for y'all. You know what, Chris? When we get back, we'll talk very briefly about well-roundeds.
Yep. Yes, we will.
That way you can
well-rounded.
Yeah, that way you can get a couple together. I've got a couple together, and on this break, you guys are going to get to hear a clip of. Oh God, why do I not write this down more often? I do this every episode. I clipped it. I can hit the button and see what it is. What the fuck is it, Chris? I mentioned it earlier in the episode. Oh, I remember. It's because it's a new show. It's Hindsight MMA. It's the story of how Jesus learned to love submissions. So you're gonna get to hear that. You also may or may not hear. Chris, did you ever hear the band or meet the band Disabled Youth in San Diego with Dusty and all the crust punks?
I have not, actually.
Okay, you might have met Dusty at like at one of Nick's shows or something because he's been around the punk scene for a while and like been around. But anyway, I'm gonna play a little bit of some crust punks yelling about fuck Nazis, and then after that, worst case, if we're still on break, y'all are gonna get to watch some of Shorty's Guilty if you're watching the YouTube version. So enjoy all that, and this is why y'all should subscribe to us on YouTube because you get the fucking extended cut where I'm just fucking playing delinquent shit. Also, shouts out to the fucking old school Shorty shirt I'm rocking. I'm not even gonna lie. Fucking shouts to Pete Smolik and Brendan Smolik. Wait, Pete Smolik and Brendan Smolik. Pete Smolik and Brendan Turner. We out here. Hermos that block, y'all. We'll be back. Alright, until then, enjoy this clip of this clip. Ha!
Liked by the sound of violence.
He sits atop a cloud, gazing at his father's creation below. His alarm sounds. He leaps with joy. It's that time of the week again. The new VHS is out. Ultimate Fighting is back, baby. He clenches his fists until the stigmata drips in anticipation of the violence. He spit shines his crown of thorns. He cannot wait to break some bread and turn his blood to wine while watching one of his loyal students fight the champ. He's out for blood. For you see, Jesus has always loved knockouts, but this is the story of how Jesus learned to love submissions in hindsight.
liked by the sound of violence.
He sits atop a cloud, gazing at his father's creation below. His alarm sounds. He leaps with joy. It's that time of the week again. The new VHS is out. Ultimate Fighting is back, baby. He clenches his fists until the stigmata drips in anticipation of the violence. He spit shines his crown of thorns. He cannot wait to break some bread and turn his blood to wine while watching one of his loyal students fight the champ. He's out for blood. For you see, Jesus has always loved knockouts, but this is the story of how Jesus learned to love submissions in hindsight.
About it all.
This used to be loud, so we wrote a song about it.
This song's from my big boy skinheads in the fucking house. Kill the Nazi!
This shit.
Everybody wants to. Everybody wanna rock and roll. Sounds good enough for me. I said, does anybody wanna rock and roll? I'm the king of rock. Back again. Back again. I'm the king of rock. Back again. Back again. I'm the king of rock. Back
7 of you have been found guilty. A combined 27 counts of criminal trespassing, 17 counts of vandalism, destroying public property, disturbing the peace, assaulting an officer, and multiple DUIs, MIPs, and 187s. The list goes on. I am so sick of seeing your faces. I have no other choice but to sentence you to the death penalty. This court has chosen death by the firing squad.
Go, maggots, get down.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
Come on, boy. Drag your ass. Come on. Keep the noise down. Let's go. I hope I get the pull down. Put it on your butthole.
Believe this shit, homie. Ain't no thing, man. Skate Mafia for life. Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Hey, that's no ass at T.
Hey, boys. Why don't you settle down? Shut up. No, we got about another hour left to live, so might as well take some deep breaths. Enjoy the scenery.
I'm gonna wait all day. Hurry up. You'll see, man.
Hey, I got something coming up on me fast back here. This one looks great.
Yeah.
Trying to drive here.
Kill you fucking pigs!
The 2 prison guards were shot and killed. The 7 fugitives were last seen skateboarding from the scene of the crime. Investigators are asking that anyone with information to immediately contact their local police.
Who keeps a fifth of Hennessy in a cargo pocket filled with weed?
On this track, I'ma let my nuts hang till I for crotch bangs, riding hot flames, hydroponic, known to clock brains, except for the weed grades. Since I got fame and block chains, I still sign the little skating tickets with Tony Hawk's name. The cops blockade, but they goes to the scene. Find the better browse, I can smoke a little beat. Roll more types of green and fill marines. The man short is begging me, please fulfill their dream. Instead, he asking me, is it true you black and Japanese? And can you please do a trick on any bus around for me? Naturally, like all guys, my eyes on they bra size. Only trick I show them, tail flip the dark side. L-I-double-T-L-E-D, spit it. Gonna get you on all accounts, and coming sick with it. Well, most get it, quit it, Brandon hit the 650 skateboards and get a finger to the only way I flip it. You prison. That drink till he's left with no liver. Can't wait for your re-up, cause I need my doge quicker. Your amateur cat stand in the back of the nigga.
Is you feeling me on the abilities a little bit?
And if you don't know, now you know.
Using creativity on facilities in your
And if
streets.
you don't know, now you know.
Watch how illy be, for weeks should be a disbelief.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Who keeps a 50 Hennessy in a cargo pocket filled with
And
weed?
if you don't know, now you know.
You heard I got hit by a car, got my leg broke, and my head cracked. I'm an indestructible skater, that's just a minor setback. Less than minor later, navigating jet black. Chasing pain pills with Hennessy and lime extract. On my next match, of the enemy's a reaper. Got a reaper like a wrestler, put you in a sleeper. My G-bag is hiding from cops and sneakers. The niggas is rough, begging to smoke like Felicia from Friday. And from my G-bag to the highway, the feds is the only CBI breakers living on some hard shit. A little beat me on some land of hard flip on the hood of your cop car shit.
Take cover.
Cause shit could go down for real.
Take
real.
cover.
Do you hold the pound for real?
Take
real.
cover.
Cause you can hit the ground for real.
Take
real.
cover.
And never hear a sound for real.
Late night, you hear the gun spark. It's dumb dark. Fight for life in the ghetto gave me a numb heart. The one part. Stress will make a nigga a mess, so I don't play around. Like Big Shug said, you fuck around, you lay around. Catch a moment of truth like slug from a 4-pound. Heads no, hey yo, I blaze tracks strictly. State facts officially, Matt Dimes wanna get with me. Let me mention it, me and Premier living legends. Blessing every mic I touch, relieving tension. Just like shiatsu massage. Put your career on freeze, no guarantees like chick at the bar. So you should move with apprehension or get fenced in. Surrounded by a union of thugs, ready to condense in your body. Lace you from head to toe. I get the right signal, niggas be ready to go. So knock that shit off, stop playing games, I run the game. I maintain while other lame ass cats fucked up the game on the wall of shame. Ending up as a no-name while I'm rapping in the motherfucking Hall of Fame. Still I'm knowing exactly what suckers wanna get at me. Thinking they can attack me, I shut down the head of the faculty. The others could get smothered, word to mother. Hey yo, it's ballhead slick, about to flip, so take cover. Take cover.
Shit could go down for real.
Take
real.
cover.
Do you hold the pound for real?
Take
real.
cover.
Cause you can hit the ground for real.
Take
real.
cover.
And never hear a sound for real.
Take
real.
cover.
Shit could go down for real.
Take cover.
Do you hold the pound for real?
Take
real.
cover.
Cause you can hit the ground for real.
Take
real.
cover.
And never hear a sound for real. For real.
smallest and hits like a
Yo, straight out the lava bottom hellfighters, a known mental killer, born thriller, assassin, and terror. A hot, bloody, fatal mixture of fire and water. Homicidal manslaughter, death is the order, starvation. Travel at the speed of wind, through the valley of sin. Something real that murdered many men. Something just in my vicinity. This is Pulver and Chris. I get down, I crack the fucking crown. Lay around and watch some real niggas break ground. I can't stop, every rock going up the spot. Hip rock, the niggas know. Yo, niggas grab the mic like the bikes of a scorpion. Nervous, that's why the two brought me in. Now bring them forth like the torches at the courts. Before the case begin, first make me in his brain and make sure his head maintain the calmness. You're harmless, watch how I'm harmless. Stage light now appears to be the moon. Now your posse is your fucking platoon. Sound, just floating through the air. I'm like a ninja, once I send you those stairs, then I get clearest from clearest, nearest with the clearest rhyme. Erupt the nigga, duck the fucking mind.
Let me tell you about the snakes, the fakes, the lies, the highs, all of these industry shindigs. Where you see the pretty girls in the high animated world. Looking for a rapper with all the dough. If you take a shit, they want to know. And if you're gonna fall, they won't be around, y'all. So you still wanna do the show business? And you think that you got what it takes? I mean, you really gotta rap and be all that. And prepare yourself for the break. Check it out. People gotta stick their nose. Yo, I gotta speak on the cesspool. It's the rap industry and it ain't that cool. Only if you're on stage or if you're speaking to your people. Ain't no one you equal, especially on the industry side. Don't let the games just glide right through your fingers. You gotta know the deal, so Lord Jamal speak. Because if you're in the business and putting on a show, you're $1 million man that ain't got no dough. But you gotta hope tickets backstage to a show. Sedated, and at that fact they laid. Time passing, your ass say, where's my loot? The reply is a kick in the ass from a leg in the boot. All you wanna do is taste the fruit, but in the back to make a fruit juice. The ass is like I wanna get cut loose from the label, not a
Try and test, I'll separate your bone from your flesh. Only the best have the power to finish the quest. God's impressed, devils panic with my success. Why checkmate punks who front on the west, and that's how life gets. Cause that's how life is. This government don't give a fuck about your wife and kids. Ask yourself, for all these tax dollars you give, have you seen any improvements on the place where you live? That's why I pray for God to forgive this life that I've lived. Too many nights I'm holding knives ready to strike on these kids. Stupid shit that I did makes me super suspicious, like late night driving slow, no headlights on deep dishes. I mutilate, if you duplicate it's just business. Leave you on the corners like what did this? SD is the spot, Claremont is my block, where we hate the cops and spot snakes like hops.
What's up? What's the info?
Worldwide surveillance, fax, phones, satellite communication. The only ones in the country, including the military, could possibly have anything like this.
Why are they after me?
I don't know, and I don't want to know.
Fuck it.
What the fuck you want, sucker? Thinking to touch punk, this adamant energy filled mixing with more explosion, ready to combust. Very stupid, mental, rather simple. Check my credentials, my residential sent to the damage off from the temple.
Hey, we're back. That was a whole bunch of fucking skate videos. We got fucking Pete Smolik just throwing bangers down. Shit is popping off in this on that break. This is definitely gonna get taken down because of YouTube, because of that video. So I will re-edit that audio and it'll be back up. But hey, it's been a fun one so far. Although I do have to say, Chris, I am rocking the fucking old school shorty shirt. I don't know if you noticed. The fucking OG 90s shorty with the S's on the sleeves, which makes me a little nervous because it's two S's separated on sleeves. But it's a little different.
You say it stands for Super Saiyan.
Well, I mean, it's everybody. It's an entirely hip hop focused team with a lot of black members on it. I don't think the S's being separated from shorties was anything other than a design choice. Please don't prove me wrong. But that being said, you guys just heard the fucking video. Yeah, fucking shouts to Shorties, which is notoriously a San Diego team. The most San Diego team. Brandon Turner, Jesus Christ. Brandon Turner, who would not appreciate me being drunk slurring his name like that, and Peter Smolik, or Pete, was always really good to all of our friends growing up. I mean, anybody knows San Diego, or specifically Claremont, which you guys just heard shouted out in that song. They used to give a ton of stuff to all the kids in the neighborhood when I was growing up. Because they were like the older kids who were sponsored by Shorties and a couple other places, and they would literally just have like what Pete and everybody would call garage sales, which was, hey, if you're a neighborhood kid, come through and we'll give you something if you have $5, or if you don't, we'll give you something that's like very used. And so that's how everybody would end up with shoes or boards and all that stuff, and they were always dope as hell. I guess speaking of which, Chris, we should get into some of our well-rounded stuff for this week, right? Very quickly.
Yeah.
Well, here, very quickly, I guess I will say, since I am rocking the fucking shorty shirt like a goddamn 90s kid. You know what? I'm gonna show you guys how dumb I am. Give me 1 second. So, here's how dumb I am, Chris. How into skate stuff from the early 2000s are you?
Besides playing the Tony Hawk games, not into them much.
Did you buy any old skate shoes you grew up in San Diego. You had skate shoes, right?
I had skate shoes without skating, as far as that being ironic, yes.
So does the D3 look familiar to you at all?
I mean, I can't see it, but I know if you were to show me...
that's right. You actually can't see it. I'm an idiot. And I saw that Osiris was selling D3s again, which I have not owned. Yeah, go ahead and look up the Osiris D3, which you're immediately going to realize everyone you have ever known. You probably owned a pair of these if you owned a skate shoe in 2001 in San Diego. I bought some white on white D3s because I'm a fucking idiot. I also, though, got a goddamn board.
Oh, boy.
Do you immediately recognize them?
I didn't own these, but I definitely had a friend who did.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, I remember these shoes distinctively.
So.
Yeah, I remember it was like the caramel gum shoe for the sole.
Oh yeah.
Black
Black ones with the black ones with the gum sole. That was the classic. So I got the all white because I'm a fucking idiot. I got the all white D3s because I'm a goddamn moron.
Oh god, there's one with the flames.
Dog, I'm telling you, it's pretty tight. Big shoe season is back, y'all. But I did pick up a board also. I picked up what is it? I'll quickly shout this out. I picked up a Baker 8.5 off the Baker site. I picked up Shorty, of course, I'm rocking the fucking Shorty Silverados still to this day, even though they're an inch and a third, even though why would anyone make fucking screws longer than an inch? It's so frustrating. Also, I'm rocking, what else did I pick up? I picked up Thunder High Polished trucks because fuck independent trucks. I'm not rocking anything with a goddamn iron cross on it. Let's see, I picked up some Spitfire... I believe what the fuck wheels are they? They're the you guys know what the fuck Spitfire wheels they are. They're the same one that everybody rides. It's the fucking the STFs, something like that. The classics. And then of course I'm rocking the fucking Shorty's Black Panther bearings. And I think that's it. What else did I have? Oh, that's my cat yelling. Hi, kitty cat. You want to come visit? Anyway, Chris, that's my big shout-outs. I think that's most of what I had.
I would just hope that the metalcore band Born of Osiris, which is like an Egyptian thing, would wear Osiris D3s. I'm sure someone has. So
I mean, hey, if they were cool, they would.
I saw that band live. They're all right. They're not. They're whatever.
That's what's up.
Don't remember if they wore Osiris D3s. Someone probably did, though.
Fred Durst, most notably, he's the one who popped him off, bro. In the Rollin' video, he was rocking the D3s. That's where they came from.
I'm sighing, but it's also good
to be fair,
because he's unfortunately popular.
Well, also to be fair though, it doesn't make me cool. It just means I was in San Diego in 2000. I was rocking D2. No, you and most of the people. No, because
just solidifies the popularity. It has nothing to do with you being cool for wearing
them. No.
Like, he's a
First off, they're
shit.
very uncool. They're still very uncool as far as I can tell. Unless you're like a very fucking nerdy kind of skater that was born in a specific year, they're not cool at all. Second off, they weren't cool at the time. Third off, I was rocking D2s in middle school, but it's because my middle school teacher gave them to me because he worked for Osiris. So like that's the kind of like it was just some San Diego ass shit. It's all it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus, at the time, I knew a lot of people who were scavenging the dumpsters outside the Osiris factory for knockoffs, for misprints and shit. Actually, you know some of those people too.
Hey,
we might have mentioned them on this episode.
I know you're talking. Okay, think about it closely. Which popular movie in the 90s with a shoe factory does that sound like? I'll give you a hint. It's a board game. Anyways,
board game has shoe
fucking Jumanji. The dad runs a shoe factory and it's a very popular shoe, and it doesn't work because his machine like breaks, and then he goes broke, and his son's like, "All right, Dad, fuck you," and then he finds the board. Anyways,
Robin Williams hangs himself with the shoelace, and then. Oh, sorry, that was a different.
I mean, clearly, and he's like, "What year is it? I'm dead." Just kidding.
And Kevin Smith makes a movie about it years prior, or Bobcat Goldthwait makes a movie about it years prior, encouraging him to hang himself with the shoelace, and everybody feels weird. Dude. Everybody feels very weird about it afterwards. All right, this is what I do to our podcast. I apologize.
All right, guys, I am out.
That's fair. I was trying to pull a ripcord, to be honest. Here, Chris, very quickly, I'm just going to rattle off 4 things, and I'm going to let you talk. My 4 are well-rounded.
Well-rounded, that's right.
I already talked about the Shorties video that we just watched, which, I mean, literally, if you guys watch more of that video, you can see my middle school classrooms in the background of a lot of it. I mean, it's so San Diego. You can literally see Marston classrooms. Like, I read Fear and Loathing in the background of one of those classrooms because my fucking teacher, whose husband was a biker, happened to have Fear and Loathing in my 6th grade homeroom. That's a weird move, but I read it. So... also, let's see. Real quickly, my well-rounded stuff is skate video site, which is essentially dead. It still exists, but all the links are dead because it was the OG definitive archive of skate videos. You can still see all the links and like who's in everything and when it came out. However, you have to then search further off non-YouTube links for all the stuff. Still very cool, and I'll have a link in the description. The 9 Club, if you guys don't know about the 9 Club, you don't skateboard or know about skateboarding, I'm assuming. The 9 Club is Chris Roberts, who is the famous skater for Girl, most notably, along with Chocolate and a couple other big brands, who, if you guys have ever seen a big banger highlight clip package from the Santa Monica courthouse of manual tricks on the stage, that would be Chris Roberts probably. Yeah, he has a great he basically is the Joe Rogan of skate podcasts, except less racist and less Joe Rogan. Like if Joe Rogan wasn't a big old fuckboy and he skateboarded, that's how the podcast is. It's very enjoyable. I love the Muska and Jamie Thomas episode specifically. Ashton Kelly's a great skateboarder who just makes cool, really dope skate content. Big fan of that dude. And Garrett Jenner, I will say. Mostly I've been watching Garrett Jenner for his gaming channel, where he does a lot of the Skater XL content. And he also, you guys probably would know him if you at all or follow the skate scene, because he's friends with a lot of Deerdick and a lot of the guy. He's friends with a lot of dudes at the barracks and all that stuff. But yeah, pro skater, very good, and just a all around nice guy who does a lot of cool video game content around skating. So yeah, big shouts out to all of them, and that's mostly what I've been doing. That and big shouts to Grown Local, the weed podcast with Billy Wayne Davis that I've been loving. Chris, you got any well-roundeds?
Yeah, as far as video game stuff, still MLB The Show 21 has been absolutely fantastic. I know they've had their server issues.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And a lot of that is to do with them going to Xbox, if we're honest. It is what it is. What's coincidental about that is at my job in Serena Valley by brewery, guess who also is in Serena Valley? Sony San Diego Studios.
Yeah, they're right down the hill from you guys.
There was a very nice gentleman who stopped by just a couple days ago. He was wearing an MLB The Show hat.
His name's not Greg, is it?
What's up?
His name's not Greg, is it?
No, I didn't catch it. It definitely wasn't Greg. It was
Okay.
Russian or Slavic last name.
Because I knew a dude named Greg who my dad was friends with. He used to work for, who I think still works for Sony, for Sony down there.
Either way, he had one of the show hats from the yearly release, and I was like, "Hey, is that 17 or 18?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, that's from 17." I was like, "Oh," he's like, "How'd you know that?" I'm like, "Oh, I've been playing since I got a PlayStation again, about 3 or 4 years ago." He's like, "Oh, right on." And I was just telling me how much I enjoy the game and yada yada, and those guys have been awesome. And anyways, shouts out to MLB The Show. The other game I want to shout out is the Mafia Definitive Edition that I told you about a couple weeks ago. Because me and my brother Kyle, what we do is, since that game is split into chapters, we take turns. So
that's actually a very fun way to play, especially if you like smoking weed.
Yes.
Because you can just hang out and watch somebody do it. Yeah.
We drink a lot of beer, and
that's the way to do it.
On the PS5 controller, let me see if you can see.
Trevor and I used to play a lot of games like that, actually.
So there is a microphone. I know I can't. I'm not looking at myself right now in the thing.
You got it.
A microphone right here. I don't know if you can see that.
Yep.
If you don't mute it, you can. Whenever you record yourself doing something you capture a video recording moment. When you're playing a game or you do something cool, you hear yourself in the background if you're not muted. And what's fun is I like to do a dub essentially. Every time I play, I do a fucking stupid voice like this, like, hey, who the fuck is doing this, right? Like it's like some good stuff shit.
That works very well for that game.
Fucking comedy every time me and my brothers play. Because like there's like a mission I was doing where you stealth around and like you're not supposed to kill someone, and I have like a switchblade out and it shows an animation of you stabbing the dude like 10 times the stomach, like, oh, you're not supposed to die, okay, capiche? And it's like you can hear my brother laughing in the background. It's just such a fun experience. We're both just so fucked up. It's just like so hilarious, and it's just like the game's awesome, and I think we're maybe about like 2 or 3 chapters away from finishing it, but it's been so fun.
That sounds like a blast.
It's a blast because it's like, all right, I do this chapter, and then after that, it's your turn, and vice versa. And it's great. And I played the second Mafia years ago on 360, and they did a remaster of all 3 games. I think you said you played the third one, right? Where you play Lincoln Clay in New Orleans.
I played through all of the first one, and then I played through
the third one, you're a black guy in New Orleans.
So I played through I only got through like probably 6 to 8 hours of the third one, because it's like the story drags a bit halfway through. Okay. It has a very like Saints Row kind of thing where the middle has just a bunch of side missions basically.
Okay, because someone was telling me that essentially
I like it a lot, but it's like very.
I'll look into it. I know I've been trying to research games that are like upgraded for PS5.
So that's the thing I will say is I played it on base ass PS4 and it ran like shit. So that's probably part of it too.
So the one game that's run phenomenally and it's been great is Mortal Kombat 11. Holy goddamn shit!
That game ran great on PS4, and I guarantee it runs like butter.
Even better on PS5. I was playing with Trevor. We're like, bro, this shit is fucking tight.
Well, because it's like a tight 60.
Mortal Kombat, we're like, dude, it's at the tight 60 frames. It's so quick. Like you can, it's like, I even like went wild and bought the Rambo character, and like it's.
Oh yeah, I heard that shit's tight.
So fucking fun, dude. And I've been just looking at which games are worth having on PS5, and I'll be giving it like a hard look. And the one game I'm gonna get that I did not finish on Xbox was the second South Park game. So I'm gonna just fucking buy it. And I know you can buy it at GameStop, believe it or not, for like $15. Because I was looking on, I was looking at PlayStation Store. They like try to buy it for like $40. Like no, I'll just buy the disc. It's like I don't need the digital.
Well, and I'm sure on any sale it's like $10. Yeah.
Yeah, because like the South Park games are great, especially.
But that thing's like 2014 though, 2016.
Yeah, the second one was 2017.
Yeah. So.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Also, I should say, before we get into the rest of this, this cookies and cream from No Till Farms, I don't think I actually showed it earlier, but it's so stupid fire. Like, I don't know if I can get this to focus. I got it to focus earlier. Almost, kind of. Anyway, that thing is stupid, and it's very good.
Reminds me, too, I've been drinking this beer for the past hour from Epic. It's an IPA called Buoyancy Control. Don't know if you can see that.
Dude, so Epic is a brewery that I like a lot, but I never buy their beers, and I don't know why. I guess it's because generally when I see them around, I figure they've been sitting on the shelf for a bit. But I think it's just because I'm rarely near their brewery.
I mean, that's fair.
But like, it's not really. I think it's mostly just because like I rarely see them around. So when I do, it's like the one can that I always see around, like the black with the silver. I forget which specific one it is.
It's like an eagle. It's an eagle wrangling a worm.
Yeah, whichever. They're like the one basic can that you always see around at. But dude, Epic though, like they're widely known as one of the better breweries right now in San Diego. Them, Pure Project, and Original 40 are like getting a lot of play down here.
Yep.
Anyway, Chris, we're not a beer or video game or skate podcast. Or weed. I guess we talk about fights, huh?
Let's let's supposedly talk about these fights that occurred.
I heard there was fisticuffs.
So I caught this first one between Christos Giagos and Sean Soriano. This was a men's lightweight bout. Soriano is in the same camp. I don't know if you call it Black Zillions or what is it, Fight Club 360 or Hard Knocks 365? What's it called? The one that's in South Florida.
It is.
It's with Henry Hoop.
Yes.
I know he's the head coach.
Sanford
and Michael Chandler's
MMA.
there, and Gilbert Burns.
Sanford
there.
MMA.
That's what it's called now. Thank you. Sanford MMA is the new name.
I know. I have to think about it every
Formerly
time.
known as Black Zillions. Formerly known as Hard Knocks 365.
Mhm.
Now it is called Sanford MMA. Thank you. Serrano looked good. He had those leg kicks. He was commanding his presence in the first 2 rounds. And then Christos Giagos was just like, hey, dude, I can grab you and just basically bully you with just the grappling and throw you wherever I want. And that's what he did. He dictated where the fight went with his grappling. He threw Soriano in certain exchanges against the fence where he couldn't even fight back.
He basically put him on the cage and just tossed him from
bullied.
there. Yeah.
And eventually he caught a Darce choke, which was fucking nasty.
Dude, nasty Darce. Caught it like as they're from north-south, dude goes to stand up, he snags it, immediately grabs and latches the leg and rolls through on it, and that shit is a wrap. Puts him to sleep with it.
Yeah.
It was nasty as shit.
So, yeah, Christos Giagos, fucking phenomenal win. Good for you, my friend. Good luck in that sack division, but good win.
Yeah, super nasty.
I didn't catch this fight, even though I was trying to rewatch all of them. I think I accidentally actually skipped these next 2 fights.
To be honest, I mean, they were alright. I don't have a lot to say about them.
Tucker Lutz and Kevin Aguilar.
Yeah.
How do you describe how this went down?
I don't have much to describe about it other than, like, they banged it out, like, mostly in the pocket, and they both landed a lot, and Lutz landed more consistently. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about it. Much like I'm going to have a very similar thing to say about this next fight.
Well, then we'll just leave it at that. Good win for Tucker Lutz.
Yeah, it was a win for Tucker Lutz.
What happened with Priscilla Cachoeira and Gina Mazzani?
So Gina Mazzani fights exactly like Tim Elliott for...
Oh, her boyfriend, right?
Yeah, and in the way that her striking now looks a lot more like Tim Elliott's, where it's a lot of like hunched jabs and weird in-out footwork that doesn't really make sense.
Kind of like shoulder gliding.
Yeah, it's like, well, you know, Tim Elliott's weird, fucking like awkward.
Yeah,
it's actually getting a lot more similar to that, which is actually seemed to be pretty effective early on. However, she also had the Tim Elliott thing where she's going to not only do that and exhaust herself, but then overextend on every single grappling exchange and completely gas out and die.
Oh, Jesus.
In the exact same way Tim Elliott always does. Yep. Except after the first round, she started looking way worse at doing that and started gassing real hard. And then she was on top and looking like she was starting to regain some control. And Priscilla Cachoeira hit her with an elbow that cut her open. And from there, Mazzani basically stopped doing everything from top control and just started holding on. The ref separated them, and Gina Mazzani seemed to very much have be way more concerned after that. And of course, Priscilla Cachoeira being a training partner of Jessica Andrade just wades forward and starts throwing heaters the entire time.
Yep.
And Mazzani just at a certain point starts turning and turning and walking away while getting punched and shit. And I would be surprised if we see Gina back, unfortunately.
Damn.
A good I guess good performance from Priscilla Cachoeira, except for the part where she still can't wrestle or grapple at all. I mean, to be fair, she did hit some very clean punches in a way that she hasn't done in a lot of fights. But I don't know if that's. But it's also because Gina Mazzani was turned the opposite direction. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. This next fight was actually went a lot like I thought it would.
This fight was fun.
Yeah,
I watched this one in its entirety. It was pretty back and forth for the most part.
It's what I wanted from both of them. Like they both did their stuff, as the CME would say.
Shevchenko was good in the Muay Thai clinches as far as like with her knees up the middle and all that and the short elbows, but Andrea Lee though, goddamn, when she wanted to throw her to the ground and get that outside angle, she kind of dictated that.
Yeah, I will say though, it's super embarrassing. I don't know. I've seen Andrea Lee deal with the clinch fairly well over time, but the way she just ate body knees at a certain point in this fight was super concerning, and I think against a lot of people specifically at the 25 division, there's a lot of decent Muay Thai practitioners with knees in that division that are big enough to do that to her in a real bad way. That being said, though, it was good to see. First off, I don't know how the fuck Antonina survived that triangle for that long.
Yeah, that's true.
At first, I get it because Andrea Lee was doing everything wrong. She deliberately moved the arm that was across the body out of the way, which, like, I get if you're going to try and work for a transition to an omoplata, or if you're going to try and work it to, like, to try and hit a sweep off of it or do something else. But, like, all she did with it was move it out of the way and then pull down on the head, which then you're doing that was confusing. She also, at a certain point, started trying to cross the wrong arm across the body. There was a lot of weird stuff she was doing in that triangle, and I think by the time she actually figured out what she was doing wrong, I think she might have surprised herself, to be honest, because this is stuff I've seen her do right a long time ago. I think she might have just caught herself off guard for getting that clear into that position. But yeah, she eventually struggled forever, had her really, really fucking deep in a couple of those triangles, like arm across the body, pulling on the head at the cross angle, and still Antonina was surviving. And then eventually she just grabbed the arm at the right angle and got the tap. But weird fight.
Yeah, it was interesting to say the least.
Well, and just like those clinch exchanges were, I don't know, man. It's so weird that Andrea Lee just kind of did. I don't know, her defense to the, like, I think it was because they weren't at a straight on angle. Like what Antonina did was she took it at like a cross angle to where she was hitting from like a cross side angle. And Andrea Lee's answer to that seemed to just be like to put her arm across her body and wait for a while. I don't know. It was weird. But that being said, I'm glad she finally got the armbar from the triangle because it was there. And when she went for it, she immediately had it. And I've seen her hit. I mean, that was her and Victor run was a lot of triangles and armbars. So I was surprised it took that long, but impressive win. And I bet you some people are going to keep an eye on her after beating Shevchenko.
Yeah, impressive win either way. And I can make a terrible joke, but I won't. So let's move on. Jordan Wright.
Oh, you mean about how she'll never find out about us talking good things about her? Because she blocked us for saying...
Shevchenko did not see that coming.
To be fair, she's not going to see the anything we say because we're blocked about her because of her Nazi ex-husband.
Yeah. I told that to Trevor, and he's just like, okay.
Hey, to be fair, right side of history.
Yeah.
This was way before all the it's fairly far. Anyway, Jordan Wright fought. So I didn't see much of this actually.
Fucked up Jamie Pickett pretty quick. Jamie Pickett was impressive on the Dana White's Who's Not Contender series too. I figured this fight would be competitive on both sides. I didn't think it would end this quick. What do you think about this, man? This is weird. This is a wild fight, but
I didn't see much.
Impressive all the way though from Jordan Wright. My goodness.
All I saw was the finish. Really, I didn't see much of this one.
All I'll say is, dude, immediately Jordan Wright just got him in the clinch and just elbows, uppercuts, shoved him against the fence, and kind of just I don't know what it's called when you get the underhooks and you kind of whip their body across the middle of the octagon and you throw them like a child. I don't know what that's called.
I think you described it perfectly.
But you know what I mean? And he fucking absolutely dominated Jamie Pickett. I kind of felt bad watching it. I'm like, This dude's getting thrown around, and then he got kneed a bunch, and then in the solar plexus, and like he just had no place in there. It was pure domination. It is how I describe it. It was pure domination.
Sounds like a good win for Jordan Wright.
It was a very good win for him. Pickett had a good couple of shots in there early, but Wright was so fucking dialed in. You know what I mean? He's kind of like brushed him off, and he was just in kill mode, or whatever you want to call it. So good win for Jordan Wright. As I'll say, is that 185? Yeah, 185. We'll see how. I mean, the division's kind of spread out a little bit, but both these gentlemen could use a couple more fights. This next fight was weird across the judges' scorecards. I saw one judge called it 30-27 for Mike Grundy, which is fucking insane.
I don't
asinine.
understand what that even means. I don't even know how you get...
I watched this fight.
Why?
I watched this fight, and if you say 30-27 to Mike Grundy, you're out of your fucking mind because Lando clearly won a second round.
I mean, yeah, it's not even close on the second round, right?
Yeah, no. Lando won this fight in general, so at least they got that right.
Yeah, the third was pretty close, right?
It was very close. The first round, I think, was Grundy.
Yeah, the first I had for Grundy.
Lando. And then that third round, you're like, okay, who won? And then I scored at Lando, which obviously the judges did too, because they gave it to him. Yeah. So the judges got it right in general. But
yeah,
one judge who did 30-27, what are we doing?
Well, and I need to rewatch it too, because off the top of my head, like I went with Lando, like
they observed and kind of really savored grappling/wrestling attempts as more effective than any sort of effective striking on the feet.
Well, and just aggression in general, it seems like. Yeah, because a lot of Grundy was the more aggressive. So,
and Grundy was a Commonwealth grappler, I believe, in the UK. He was like,
I believe you're right.
Guy, he's a good wrestler, but so was Lando.
Speaking of good grapplers, I guess that's a good segue.
Congrats to Lando.
Yeah. Good. That's a big win for him, too.
Speaking of two amazing grapplers, and yes, this gentleman, Andre Muniz, called out Jacare Souza saying, hey, motherfucker, I'm better than you. Sure, Jacare's out of his prime as of now, and he's 41, but you don't want to call out Jacare and say you're better than him at something, because you're going to awaken the beast. However, let's have you break this down. What happened, Chris? It was a good fight.
So, I'm sure this was a good fight. This is exactly when the pizza showed up, and I still have not seen this.
Okay, so...
all I know is Jacare's whole shit got broke. That's all I know.
I'll break this down. Not much happened on the feet, first of all. Just let's get this out of the way. This only lasted a round, and the reason being, Jacare dominated the first... See how it ended at 3 minutes and basically 4 minutes of the first round, so a minute left to go? Jacare dominated the clinch game. He got the underhooks. He threw Muniz on the ground. He had a big advantage of ground and pound against the cage. He was landing a lot against Muniz. He was dominating early for the first 2 minutes, right? You're like, okay, this is going how Jacare wants it to.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, Jacare is like, all right, it's your turn. Muniz transitions him, turns it around, gets the grappling advantage, fucking puts him in an arm bar. Basically gets that, like almost that arm bar where like your legs across your chin, and you're like, how did this just happen to someone like
inverted, right?
Out of nowhere, you hear an audible fucking snapping sound.
Again? It happened to him again?
It's bad, dude. It's like
Oh god.
Yeah. It's like a baseball bat. Like you're hitting inside baseball. It's bad, dude. I like heard that. I was like, oh fuck! Like you hear it like snap, and then like Jocker didn't even react. He's like, oh.
I know it's exactly the way he reacted the last time it broke,
anyway,
where he just doesn't
start celebrating because Jocker definitely just tapped. You see him like wave his arm.
You have to, yeah.
His arm inflamed and inflated like a balloon. And he's like, "Hey guys, I guess my arm's broken." And then you hear Daniel Cormier going, "Yeah, I'm taking off my headset. I don't want to hear this bullshit." And everyone else is like replaying it like a million times, and it's like, "Oh fuck." So, yeah. Andre Muniz, and he claimed, "I am a better grappler than Jacare Souza." Sure, buddy. Like, we're not denying that, but you also kind of claim that Jacare's out of his prime. And
yeah, but still, though, no. But if you're subbing,
good excuse.
Yeah, but if you're subbing Jacare to the point where you're snapping limbs, bro, that is an accomplishment. Because I'm not gonna shout out who, mostly because I don't remember which analyst it was. I did hear someone say literally on a podcast, it's not like Andre Muniz is gonna sub Jacare, right? That's a legit statement that I'm pretty sure I know who it was, but I'm not gonna throw it out there because I don't want to misquote him if it was. And to be fair, like it could have been me, it could have been most of us, right? Like I might have repeated that, to be honest. If I was doing the preview, so because I would have thought the same thing. So yeah, interesting nonetheless. But yeah, man, wild fucking win for sure. So this Edson Barboza Shane Burgos fight was weird as hell, man. It was a banger for as long as it lasted.
This fight was fantastic. It was.
Do we have to start with the finish, or should we get? Well, why don't we work to the finish?
Dude, it was a battle of outside leg kicks. Like they were damaging each other. They were trying to collapse.
That was
each
a
other.
big part of it. Yeah.
It was like a war of attrition as far as whose legs will die first. Who's going to connect those clean left hook counters? And Barboza was winning the battle of counters, clearly. And
early he was, for sure.
Because Shane Burgos kind of won a lot of exchanges in that third round. He really did.
And Burgos had a pretty good second round. Like, I had a 1-1 going into the third. Because I had Edson in the first and Burgos in the second. Just because the Burgos was landing the more significant stuff to finish out that second round. If I remember right, I was drinking a lot.
I mean, it ended how it did. It wasn't necessarily delayed. It was just like he got clipped by that right.
It was super delayed. What are you talking about?
And he was just like,
he was.
Oh shit! You know.
Yeah, he stone faced that motherfucker so well for as long as he could, but eventually, it's like ringing a bell. Eventually, the vibrations get loud enough to where that shit just gets overwhelming, right?
Exactly. So, good win for Edson Barboza, dude. I have no clue what's next for him at 145, which still blows my mind considering how chiseled that motherfucker is.
Well, and the amount of damage he took in this fight was not insignificant either. He had a real tough out, and he almost didn't win this fight. If we're being honest, like he was losing that third round up until that finish. I thought. Yeah. So.
Speaking of another tough fight, you got Caitlin Chukagian and Viviane Araujo.
But yeah, I caught most of, again, my day was pretty chaotic around this time. So I caught most of this. First off, Chris, have you caught anything about Caitlin Chukagian's Twitter?
Yeah, something about liking certain porn, right?
Yeah, but
I
didn't
see anything.
So, by the way, this is how you know MMA journalism is so trash. Is because
I'm already preparing
dog. No, it's so simple. No, Chris, I have the easiest.
Fill me in.
No, I have the easiest answer for you. So, yes, everyone figured out. Oh shit, Caitlin Chukagian's Twitter just all it does is like giant black dick porn.
Yeah.
And then so you go through. So of course, if you're a journalist, Chris, and you see that a Twitter is liking one type of picture all the time, what's the first thing you do? You go and you see when that started, right?
I mean, out of curiosity, sure, yeah.
Yeah, because
is this like natural, or is it like a?
Or did it all of a sudden start on March 27th of this year, or April? I forget, it was March 27th or April 27th. No, it's a specific day it started. It's very clear that like what it went from being like she'll make a joke here or there that was like, if you really want to try and tie it to stuff, you can. But if you go and you look through her likes, they're totally normal before a certain date, and then after a certain date, it's just big black dick porn. It's just 100% that, or it's a dude's, or it's someone replying saying, "Don't snitch." By the way, that's also in those things. It's the easiest journalism of all time. It took me 24 seconds to do this journalism. Meanwhile, everybody's like, "Oh, everybody been looking at Kayla Chukagian." I'm like, "Oh God." But we're a classy outlet, so we don't report on trash like that. And I don't need to clarify a trash like that, because guess what, Chris? We don't do things for clicks. Because guess what? We could have gotten clicks. Yeah, if you go look at our likes, it's a very specific date that it all starts, and it's the laziest reporting. I would argue they either did not do any journalism, or they actively did bad journalism if they did not state that it started on a specific date, because it's the easiest shit of all time to find. And I'm very mad about it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Apart from that, she did win her fight against Viviane Araújo.
Close fight, too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Looked kind of like how I thought it would. I honestly don't have a lot to say about it.
Nor do I.
I'm literally going to say the same thing about this next fight. I don't have a lot to say about it.
Yeah, I was watching this fight, and that's when I texted you, should I fast forward? And
yep.
I was like, what are we doing? You know, and I'll be honest. I didn't think much of Rogerio Bontorin versus Match. Now, I've said that Bontorin is a lot smaller, but he's a lot thicker. And good for him. He's kind of like a John Lineker.
Yeah.
That's what he was. You know,
yeah.
And,
I mean, he did well. If I remember right, he also worked body punches, right? Or am I mixing
John
that up?
Lineker style.
Yeah. Like, that was my big takeaway from what I remember of it. I did not take notes, and I don't have a lot to say about it.
This next fight,
also, it should be noted, did you listen to any of the commentary before we get to this co-main and main?
No, I did not. I didn't listen to commentary until this co-main.
So that's probably for the best, because I can't listen to Joe Rogan talk anymore. At all. I just can't do it.
You talking about Joe Rogan, Bappa?
Well, no, what's fucked up is, like, I can't listen. He's on this, like, I can listen to Adam Carolla before I can listen to Joe Rogan. And Adam Carolla says, arguably, at this point, he talks to more actively harmful people. But he at least has decent points every once in a while.
Sure.
But, like, I can't listen to either one of them, don't get me wrong. But, like, I literally, like, I can't listen to Rogan on a broadcast because he's actively bad at his job at this point. He doesn't know who anybody is at all.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
He doesn't even he has one reference, and it's whatever their last fight was, and that's his only reference, and that's all he's not gonna talk about it because he doesn't. So he's just gonna look at them and be like, well, are they black? Because they're going to get tired soon. Oh, they're not black. So, I know Tony Ferguson, so he's going to throw sand and have something up his sleeve. can't sleep on jiu-jitsu. It's like the laziest, shittiest commentary. I can't do it anymore, dude. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah, so anyways, for those who didn't see it, Beneil Dariush dominated Tony Ferguson, which we were thinking was going to happen. Spoiler alert.
Speaking of... That, wait. After that, what happened, Chris?
Well, after that, the UFC really wanted Michael Chandler to win the house.
No. After that, what did Beneil Dariush say?
Oh, he called out Elon Musk because his wife has not gotten her Tesla yet.
True. What else did he say?
I actually don't know because I only heard.
He vaguely called out communism, but with no specifics.
Really? What did he say? Actually, I legitimately did not hear this. If I'm honest.
So I don't have a here. I'll try and here. Let me see if I can.
I know his family's from Assyria, which is like. Well, I'm not going to comment where because I don't want to be politically incorrect.
But guess who's been real fucking quiet about the Jewish shit recently, or about the Israeli shit recently? I shouldn't.
Yeah, I was going to say shit. You better be careful.
Yeah. I know. I'm about to sound like a fucking Alex Jones repeater. Well, Beneil Dariush was looking up his what he just said. The communism fucking quote. Oh, that's right. Here's an article, Chris. Why did Beneil Dariush what did Beneil Dariush say about Marxism in UFC 262? Let's see. I can't scroll. Great. This is a great site. You've done a great job at your job. Well, okay, well, you know what? I'm not gonna click on any of these fucking websites.
We don't need to worry about it.
Anyway, he basically was like, "Oh yeah," he threw out like weird Karl Marx communism references after his fight. Everybody sucks.
Yeah, everyone sucks.
Everyone sucks. Why can't we just?
Yeah, speaking of which, the main event. Speaking of not sucking,
is anyone else tired? Is anyone else tired of getting told to eat cake? That's all I'm asking. Is anybody else tired, bro?
This main event was straight fire. Michael Chandler could very have won.
Okay, wait. You should actually talk about Beneil Dariush versus Tony Ferguson fight because we didn't really actually talk about it.
No, because I'm a Tony fan. I'm kidding.
I mean, it was very frustrating, but like it was an impressive.
Beneil Dariush destroyed Tony's knee again. He had him in a heel hook, and apparently you can hear a popping sound because Tony ain't a bitch. And like Tony says, Jesus didn't tap, so that's why Tony isn't tapping.
Guess what, bro? The Romans tapped it right in, and wasn't yeah, it wasn't so much of a problem. Yeah, no, it's the dumbest fucking... Yeah, you know who wins when you don't tap from a fucking submission? The doctor who gets to fix you. That's the only person who wins.
Tony, you owe me
it's like, congratulations,
money.
you just paid me $100,000 for being an idiot. No. Congratulations.
Exactly. God damn it, Tony. I feel for you, but...
Also... Yeah, this is the kind of performance where it's not fun anymore, because Longback Benny, as Conor Rebus refers to him, which is my favorite. Longback Benny versus T Ferg is, by the way, 100% the only way you're allowed to refer to this fight as. Longback Benny 100% took it to him, and it was always going to go bad for Tony. A lot of people have talked about this. Saram, I think, and some of the fight side dudes talked about how a lot of Beneil Dariush's game is built around swaying and following through in long exchanges, because that's Cordero style, where like a lot of that style is built around like you're expecting punches to get thrown, so a lot of your game is built off of like slipping and throwing longer exchanges. Especially against a dude who is less durable, because a lot of Cordero shit is just banging it out. Or at least it used to be back in the day, even more so. So yeah, against a dude like Tony Ferguson, it was always going to go bad, and that was one of the worst examples. It's a bummer, man. It makes me feel bad.
I feel bad, dude, and I don't want him to retire, but he needs.
I don't want to see him fight again. I'm gonna put it that way.
So this good on Charles Oliveira.
I'd love to see Tony Ferguson compete in grappling competitions. That would be so dope. I would love that. Like EBI's dog, or like any BJJ competitions.
Please do.
Especially the team ones. Like, why is Tony Ferguson not setting up a fucking team for like the shit that Uriah Faber was doing?
Too proud.
No, but like I know, but it would be so much like it's so much more of a career for him, and I wish he would do it.
Either way, good win from Charles Oliveira. The dudes came from nothing, literally in the favelas.
Holy shit, dude!
It's taken him 28 fucking fights. I honestly think he'll be champion for a long time. I don't think anyone really beats him. Maybe he doesn't Poirier on the feet. But other than that,
Poirier is a tough
I could
fight.
see Oliveira taking Poirier to the ground and choking him out. I really can.
See, I don't know, man, because Oliveira's wrestling game isn't in a place where he can take Dustin down.
Even if McNuggets wins, I'm taking Oliveira. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, come on.
Oh, that's not even a question. Connor's 100% gonna get fucking darsed.
Yeah, he'll get darsed.
Because I guarantee you Oliveira's smart enough to not grab a guillotine.
Here's my prediction, Chris. Here's my prediction. Gaethje Oliveira is next. It's next. So we'll give him a quick little title.
Oh, you think they're immediately going to throw Gaethje Oliveira and then they're going to let the winner of Dustin Connor get that?
They'll do it near the same time. They'll do it in July as well.
Right, and then they'll let the winner of Dustin Connor get it.
Yeah. But but Oliveira will fight Gaethje though around that same time because they'll hype that up too. You know what I'm saying?
I know you know Gaethje would take that.
Like he'll take the fight or he'll win that fight.
I'd take it. I don't know that he'd win it.
He'll take the fight. Yeah, of course. But that's my point.
I think Oliveira would take it too.
Yeah, I think
Oliveira's asking for a quick turnaround, right?
I'll say this. The only person I think that really could beat Oliveira is probably Poirier, but I still think Oliveira chokes him out. Just based on what Habib did.
Gaethje's a little bit scary though, is the thing.
I'll say this.
Because if Oliveira
Gaethje's gonna fight Oliveira next, I think that's a fact.
If this shit gets the fourth round,
I think they do that before the con. I think they do that.
That's actually one of the.
It just makes too much sense. See what I'm trying to get at?
I think that would be one of the best fights they can make. Holy shit, what a matchup.
That's just going to happen.
Dude, that would be such a dope matchup. Because if they could make that a fourth round Gaethje versus Oliveira, if it gets the fourth, Gaethje's going to maul him.
I can see that.
No, like... Oliveira has 2.5 rounds to win.
You hope Poirier winning because who doesn't want a Poirier Gaethje 2? Oh my fuck! Based on that first fight,
I want Gaethje versus everybody because I'm a selfish bitch. I just want Gaethje to fight everybody. Gaethje's the
Oliveira
best.
Fights Gaethje in the summer. And it's either before or after the Conor Poirier card, whatever you want to call it, right? You know, and that'll happen. Because Oliveira's fine. He didn't take too much damage, and Gaethje's been training. That's what happens next, and then they figure, okay, and of course the UFC wants Conor to beat Poirier. Can it happen? Sure. I don't think so. I think Poirier got his number. So Poirier wins again. And then Poirier has the ultimate test of proving is he really the best, and then he'll fight the winner of obviously Oliveira and Gaethje. That's my honest prediction at the future of lightweight, and that's fun.
I mean, it's all bangers no matter who fights, but that's just classic lightweight.
I don't know who else is ranked at like 5 or 6 at lightweight. I couldn't tell you. I know Conor's like number 5 or 6, but I don't think he's going to be Poirier either way.
Tom jerk out Jeff on that shit. Like, who cares if Conor's ranked?
I'll tell you right now, I know there's someone in the wings. I guess Michael Chandler, but no, he needs time because he got knocked out. But you know what I'm trying to say? There's like people in the wings. I'm trying to think, but I can't come up with that.
55? Yeah, off the top of my head, I would have to pull up the Zane Simon list, but I mean
My official prediction.
It's Russians, by the way, is the answer. It's Dagestanis.
And guess what I hope for, by the way, Chris? Islam Makhachev.
Yeah, dude, there's some Islam Makhachev matchmaking to be had.
For the love of everything MMA, I hope that guy gets a title shot. Because that dude is fucking disgusting with the grappling.
Yeah, he's a bad man.
If I were to put down a couple $100, I'm thinking Islam Makhachev is a champion a year from now, and I would put money in that. 2022, July from now, champion is Islam Makhachev. I would put confident money on that. I am not.
That's not a bad bet.
I'm honestly thinking that, man. That grappling.
He's a bad dude.
Dude's a bad motherfucker, and no one wants to fight him. By the way, real quick, Chris, because everyone wants to talk about this motherfucker. Khamzat Chimaev, right?
We a casual MMA show now?
And here's a caveat. This is the only time we'll talk about him.
We a casual MMA show now.
So this is casual MMA, shut up.
Yeah,
what weight class do you like him better at, Chris? 170 or 185?
The one where he fights, which doesn't exist.
Okay. However, I saw a video of Darren Till, and Darren Till is amazing. If you've seen his channel, he's calling out everybody. He was
shocking. I'm shocked.
He was in a FaceTime, a little Twitter spat with Khamzat, and it was great. Either way, in my opinion, I think Khamzat does have a lot of talent. Like, I think he's very good.
Oh, for sure.
He's very good, clearly.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see how he builds himself up. If I'm him, I probably do, like, my next fight at 170, win that. And, if he wants to flip-flop, that's cool. Because I guess they could place him where he wants. But he'll definitely
Nobody does that successfully.
Decision, though, where he wants to fight. Because right now, Chris, if you were to choose between 170 and 185... I'm probably choosing 185 for the lack of wrestlers at 185 compared to 170, right? Or am I wrong? Because I know he's maybe a little undersized at 185.
Super undersized at 85, but the wrestling dynamic is
out grappling fucking Kamaru Usman.
That's a very
no way.
Yeah, no, that's a super good point. I actually agree with you on that. So I actually think you're right. I think if he was smart.
185.
Yeah, or he tries to fuckboy Dana into the 165 with Nate Diaz.
But I truly honestly believe Khamzat is a future contender somewhere. The dude's got a lot of talent.
Well,
I truly believe that.
Right, but so here's my new argument. Dana wants to suck Khamzat's dick so bad. Why doesn't Khamzat try and start the 165 with Nate Diaz and just really? Why don't we just?
Nate Diaz get myrtleized.
Yeah, why don't we just wrap this shit into a nice, pretty bow, and they can put Conor into.
Let's get pay-per-view points. With
and they can
pimp out Khamzat murdering him.
And they can put Conor into a fuckboy match where Khamzat kills him at 165.
If you told me Khamzat fights Conor, I would love to see Conor get murdered.
Well, first off, Khamzat has to wrestle fuck Diaz at the 165, and then he can wrestle fuck Conor at the 165, and then we just make a whole ass division out of it. What was that?
Conor's never taking that fight.
No, neither of them would. Why the fuck would you take that?
I'm actually surprised Nate took the Leon fight.
Listen, Chris, Nate Diaz, I heard Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor don't want to fight anymore. I heard they don't like fighting.
Yeah. And remember, I also heard...
Just like Nick Diaz and just like everyone who wants money. Yeah, I'm positive that everyone who's ever asked for money for a fight and doesn't want to fight.
Oh, God damn it. I'll just say this. As much as I don't give a fuck about Leon Edwards, better things will happen for that weight class when he destroys Nate Diaz, vice versa than Nate Diaz actually. That's all I'm going to say. As much as I don't give a shit about Leon Edwards. He seems like a fucking massive tool.
Yeah, 100%.
I know he come from a massive adversity and the situation in Jamaica. I get that.
Well, no, to be fair, I think a lot of Leon...
Muhammad and just brushes it off. It's like, dude, fuck you.
Well, see, I think a lot of the Leon Edwards shit though also is just like he's not at all interested in playing games. And I think as a result, like, people are just like, well, fucking you don't care, bro, so go fuck off. Like, whereas, like,
So never fights Jorge Masvidal, right?
I mean, well, here's my argument: is like, how different is Leon Edwards' attitude from Nick or Nate Diaz's attitude?
It's pretty similar, actually.
Yeah, he's like, "Fuck you, pay me." Like, if you're not gonna pay me, and if it's not worth my time or quality of fight, then fuck yourself. Like, we'll talk later when it is. Like, that's pretty fucking clear. And when, like, Leon Edwards has gone out of his way to try and do shit, he's gotten fucked over, and he's like, yo, no, fuck you. I'm not doing extra shit just to make you happy. Like, honestly, is Leon Edwards the Diaz brother of Europe? Yeah, right now, yeah, maybe.
Jamaica, you want to call it? Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say Jamaica, because he's out of...
I know, Europe. His family's from Jamaica, but
yeah,
so England, Europe.
Yeah, but, like, I mean, to be fair, like, it's a fair... He's very much been forced into bad situations by the promotion in the exact same way the Diaz brothers are, and he's been treated like shit in the exact same way they were, right?
By the way, this is clearly hypothetical. Can you imagine if him and Hamzat were to have fought, and Hamzat would have knocked him the fuck out? Can you imagine how much Dana would be on that dude's balls even more? Holy fuck! Not that I think they could happen. Sure, it could happen because Hamzat's a bigger guy than him.
Hamzat would have gotten fucking manhandled.
I think Hamzat would have lost. I don't. This is the thing. I don't think Hamzat's already a top guy because he hasn't really fought any top guy yet. Like, I recognize that, but based on what I've seen, I think he could probably hang with some of the top guys, but I don't think he's going to win. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think he definitely has a talent, but he just has a ways to go because he's only like 26. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm not trying to take it away, but like, I think the guy definitely has what it takes to be a top guy. It's just a little early in his career, and Dana's trying to cash in on that. I definitely think Hamzat will be a top guy, but just not right now.
I don't know, man. I mean, maybe not. The whole thing with Hamzat is that I have is like the same I have with every motherfucker who's unproven, which is they're unproven. Like, Hamzat is rug with a couple more fights. Let's be fucking real, bro.
Yeah.
Like, no one knows. Like, Hamzat is a fucking. There are almost every other fighter on the UFC roster has more experience than that motherfucker. Yeah. And we're talking about him in title fights or contention for titles. It's stupid as shit.
To this,
like,
and this is almost like the McGregor route from back in the day at featherweight. It's
the exact same thing. Is the UFC picks pretty people or people who they think are easily marketable, and they're like, "Well, you have."
Hamzat, in theory, say the next guy he fights for some dumb reason is top 10 and he wins. Well, obviously Dana will like, all right, well, you get a title shot, bitch. Like,
yeah, but that's anybody who gets a top 10, a solid top 10 win at lightweight right now, right?
Or welterweight, you mean?
Welterweight, but like, there's no clear contender for welterweight right now. It's anybody.
Really? No one is beating Kamaru Usman, by the way.
Oh well, yeah, including
no one.
Fucking Hamzat. He's gonna get killed.
No one is. I'm saying right, no one is.
Well, that's why they're not giving him to him.
No, I'm saying no one.
Yeah.
Not Kobe, not anyone, not anytime soon.
By the way,
even if Wonder Boy proves a weird, no.
I would love for White Boy Summer to culminate with Kamaru fucking up Colby again. That would really solidify White Boy Summer for me in a way that would make me very happy.
Right. Really nice.
Shouts to Chet Hayes.
Yeah, I say shout out to Chet Hayes.
Fucking idiot. Dude, fuck that idiot.
Hey,
oh
Dad.
My God. If it makes you guys feel better, I first heard about Chet Hayes from the Cinnamon Toast Shrimp guy.
I don't know who that is, but I'm just
really the one that's married to Topanga. You don't know about this?
No.
Oh, there was a guy who found Jensen Karp, who found also his last name's Karp, who found shrimp in his Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, the whole thing. I remember the thing was on Twitter. Yeah, they're like, Scrimp is in Cinnamon Toast Crunch. What the
Also,
fuck?
Chris, good news. We've talked about his show on this podcast way back in the day. He used to have a great podcast called Get Up on This. He also, before that, he used to have an even better podcast called
So wait, so how much of Cinnamon Toast Crunch is comprised of shrimp?
100% if you got the box he did.
Because you know what? That sounds disgusting but fire.
Dude, disgusting fire, I think, is what they're going for at this point. Also, that's my new rap name.
I will stop there because that sounds terrifyingly good.
Yo, shout out to my new pop-up restaurant, Disgusting Fire. Well, we're going to be down by the beach. I can't tell you where because we're currently getting shut down by the health organizations in the area.
Yeah, the homeless and just kidding.
No, the homeless are the people shutting us down. They say it's inappropriate.
Remember, because they don't matter.
They're like, this is not
They're
edible.
like cats.
Oh,
they
God.
do not matter.
We need to very clearly clarify that is a Brendan Schaub take that Chris is making, and that is not our actual statements.
It's Brandon Schwab.
Yeah,
you know.
This is a Brendan Schaub reference that I fucking hate that is going to keep getting.
Remember,
made.
hey Chris, you asked me, hey, what's the homeless cats thing, and I sent you the video.
Yeah. I know, Chris. I feel bad, and we all feel bad about it now.
Yeah, he's a great person, clearly.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I did learn this week that Mark Hamill had a street named after him in Claremont. Did you know that?
Oh, I knew. I've been there.
The one right down the street from Madison.
Yeah, it's right next to me. It's great.
Dude, I didn't know about that. It only happened in 2017.
Yeah, Mark Hamill.
I used to smoke weed on a back end street like 2 blocks away from there.
Yeah, Mark Hamill evidently went to. He didn't go to Lindbergh. He went to whatever the middle school, Marston, I think it was.
Yeah, I went to Marston.
And I think he kind of went to. I think he went to Madison for like a year or two, like sophomore, and then he bailed. Mark
same
Hamill
here.
Was a Paramount guy.
Yeah. I went to Madison for like 8 months.
There you go.
Or a weird 8 months because I went to UC, but then I got kicked out of UC, or I got asked to leave UC for yelling at 2 of the teachers for being dumb old cunts. And then they're like, you can choose to leave or we can kick you out. And I was like, I'm gonna go to Madison. And then I went to Madison and I was like, yeah. A lot of old cunts here, too. Then I went to Claremont High, and I was like, hey, I can smoke a lot of weed here.
There you go.
That's a...
Well, shouts out to Luke Skywalker. Shouts out to the Joker, if you're a fan of the Batman animated series and video games. And just...
Shouts out to a great voice actor in general. Like, one of the greats of all time.
Yeah, he's in...
he's done almost everything you've ever heard that's good.
Well-rounded, by the way. Forgot to mention.
Yeah.
There's a comic book that Robert Kirkman, who created The Walking Dead graphic novel comic book, not the show.
No, the good one.
It's called Invincible, and
Invincible is like one of those series that everyone who likes likes good shit loves. Invincible.
They did an animated series adaptation on Amazon. I watched it with my brother, and it was extremely entertaining. Holy shit! There's only 8 episodes. Everybody watch Invincible. It's great. It's great. Mark Hamill's in it too. It's great. Just watch it, please. That's all I gotta say.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I think that covers just about everything. Is there anything else you want to get to before we wrap this motherfucker?
That's it for me, man. It's already midnight, baby boy.
That's right. Well, I guess until next time, go... I don't know. Go support... You know what? Go support your local skate shop. Go support your local bar.
Should we say the one thing
go support your local brewery.
The certain area?
Oh, what's that?
Were we going to shout out the free that certain area?
Or yeah, fucking free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Motherfucker, you already know at the end of this motherfucker, it's free Palestine. The Israeli government is absolutely out of control, and everybody should be doing everything they can to support not only.
To misconstrue our words, it is not anything to do with religion. It's everything to do with fuck anti-violence against innocent peoples.
Fuck governments taking over people's lives anywhere. Fuck
And
government
we're not necessarily saying
institutions.
pro Hamas because we know they're doing their weird things too, and
I'm
everyone's
not
got,
for anybody. I'm
yeah,
saying
I'm not, yeah,
fuck.
we're just saying anti-violence.
Well,
That's what we're saying.
and I'm specifically saying the Israeli government is out of fucking control, and they are absolutely doing harm to innocent people, and that it's unacceptable as a whole. And so we, as people of the fucking planet, need to all accept, hey, that is happening. It's unacceptable, and we all need to move forward and act accordingly. As just the same way that when the U.S. government does horrible fucking atrocities, which they do all the goddamn time, we need to also say, that's a horrible fucking atrocity you're doing. Shouts out to all the internment camps in this country. Like, we're still, like, it's fucking, the guy,
Free Palestine,
What's that?
and also fuck the Chinese government still because they're not letting up either. So
fuck most governments, but especially Free Palestine and U.S. do better, bitches. Like, fucking do better. Everybody do better. God damn it. Be adults.
I'll make this point. Bernie Sanders, who is Jewish, has been a big proponent and voice in Free Palestine. If you have a giant senator like that and also a Jewish man who's saying Free Palestine, what the fuck does that say about the state of our politicians and politics and the state of
and
our
it should be very
foreign fucking just relations? It's
it should be very clear that, like, much in the same way that, like, America is dope, but the American government is a broken fucking institution that mostly is supported upon horrible atrocities of upon other people, generally non-white, non-male people. Like, in the same way, there can be religions or people who are groups of people that are good people, while still the Israeli government, just like the American government, is doing horrible atrocities that are unacceptable. So, like, I feel like that's not it's not even a stance that's controversial. Like, I think we can all agree the American government sucks at most of the fucking war crimes we do. Like, very rarely is the U.S. government in the right on the war crimes they commit. And just like that, I would argue no government is correct when they do war crimes, but especially the U.S., because we have an explicit kind of war crimes we like to do that are even more arguably harmful. And it's no different for any other fucking government. So, nothing to do with people, nothing to do with religion, although all religions are broken and we should all just be people. But that's just me being an atheist agnostic fuck.
I agree. I'm an agnostic piece of shit. Like, I mean, I just...
Yeah!
You know why I say that? There definitely was a creator, and then he just bailed. That's my spinning. All right, anyways.
I fucks with that.
I honestly believe that. Like, someone created...
I would bail.
Like, all right, see ya.
I'm pretty sure Hedwig and the Angry Inch can explain the history of the universe. So, on that note, you guys should go watch that movie and learn something. And until then... Chris, you got anything else to say?
That's it. I'm already angry. I'm just kidding.
Well, until then, nothing but hugs and loves from San Diego. But also, don't support your government because they're probably fucking people. And support your local community. Please go support your local brewery. Yeah, support your local brewery. Support your local farmers market. Support your local growers. Support the people you know who are not racist. I don't know. Just do good, y'all. We love you, and we will be back soon. Until then, I'm vaccinated, so I'm gonna go get drunk here this week. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna go to a bar this week. I'm gonna get outside drunk, but I'm gonna get real outside drunk. I haven't gone to a bar. Chris, you know how long it's been since I've been to a bar?
I don't know, probably at least a year, but I was going to say, since we're both double vaccinated, I'm off Tuesday and Thursday, so if you want to meet up, let me know, baby boy.
Oh, you know we going to get faded this week, dawg.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, until next time, everybody, go do something decent. We love you. And let us know podcast recommendations. That's what we're looking for. We love you. If you made it this far, send me something. I'll send you something. All right, yeah,
of violence.